that's funny. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for the season finale of the TCR Challenge Cup, Season 13. This is rounds 23 and 24. This is it, folks. This is the end of it all for this one. But we will be back in a fortnight's time. This is at Suzuka International, notoriously a tyre chewer of a track. We've got a 30-something degree track, is that? I can't really read it on that screen at the minute. I'll find out for you in a moment. I am Pete Bingham, and in the booth with me is Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening, Sir Alan.
Good evening, Peter, my dear. Good evening, everybody. Here we are at dear old Suzuka. What a trek. We're in for a good do tonight. Very exciting, of course, last race of the season.
Yes, and we've got 12 races on the track, a bit reduced to our normal numbers of 17 plus, but that's to be expected. We've got a few people trapped in other countries due to the air traffic control situation. We've got some people on holiday elsewhere in the world. We've got a whole load of people who are just off and enjoying their time in other pursuits. And who can blame them for doing any of that, Alan? You know?
No, I can't.
No,
I can't blame them.
Definitely not.
And of course, there's 3 empty places on the grid because my captain Carl's not here.
Of course, yes. 3 places takes up that much room. 38 degrees is the track temperature here at Suzuka.
It was a bit sweaty.
David Ayres has just literally typed, as we were saying that, car makes up for 3 people missing off the grid. So it's not a rumour, folks. That is actually his overall mass. So who have we got? And let's go and find some people to stare at in a non-creepy way. We have Miguel Freitas, Gary Craig, as seen on your screen, Sam Blees, Rob Sharp, who's been looking forward to this one, I think. He's been quite vocal on Discord. Jamie Jeffrey, Freddie Van Eekhoven, JB's here back again, which is great to see. Yeah, Michael Seals here. He's also on the chat. He gave me a really big pink hand wave before. Tony Walker's here. Jamie Wilson's here. He's got his traditional Japanese livery that he sports whenever we go to Japanese tracks. So we'll show you that once he's back on track. Matt Flannery and Fiona Siddons as well. We've got a couple of minutes left before we hit the qualifying session, and only the most devout are still turning laps. 12 of our finest racers. Let's talk about the standings, shall we? Because in this one, it's all but decided. So, it's not quite decided. So it has gone to the last round of sorts. So let's go through that. Right then, we have Miguel Freitas, who is at the moment top of the pile on 1,322 points. Sam Blees is in second place in the championship on 1,185. I think Miguel calculated he had to turn up and finish last in one race in order to take the championship, so it's all done but the crying. But Gary Craig and Sam Blees are still thrashing it out for second place in the championship. Wobbly's not here tonight, so he's got no chance of getting in the top 3. And then Spencer is trapped abroad, so he can't do much about it either. Although there is a few people missing, it doesn't affect those that are here in the top 3. They are all here. And David says he will be back next season in his official role of Tail End Charlie. It doesn't matter where you are. We have all skills represented in this league, and we love it for that reason. Don't we, Alan?
We do indeed.
We do indeed.
And it'd be great to have David back, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Super,
yeah.
absolutely right. Super.
And in some races, he surprised me a lot because he was very, very competitive and knocking on the door of the top 5. In the team championship, Impulse Racing have absolutely slaughtered the opposition. 2,377 points, 299 points ahead of Hydra Race, Geodesic Racing White. And given the fact that there's 2 previous champions, including the incumbent champion in that Racing White team, that says a lot, doesn't it, Alan? Impulse Racing's talent this season has been exemplary.
Amazing. But they've had a huge impact, haven't they? And absolutely amazing performances by the pair of them. They've really dominated the short races and stuck it to everybody in the long races. Absolutely amazing performance, and you can't argue with those kinds of results.
No, not at all. And I hope we get them back next season. The racing from them and with them and the other guys has been exemplary all season. Edge of the seat stuff, and BSTV are still in it, just about to try and take second place away, but it would take a minor miracle. Although there's no Stephen Walker on the grid. His lucky pants must have run out on him. He is not here tonight. But then, so neither is Adam Wright. So it's Gary versus Sam Blees, and I don't think Gary can haul enough mail to overcome that. And then we got safeguard by result, which is Carl and Lee Bowden. Lee Bowden's bowed out, pardon the pun, of this league for this and next season. Hydro Race Racing Forces are in round out the top 5. Sad to see Lee go, but you know, when the fun stops, stop is the saying, isn't it? And I don't begrudge anybody that. It's no fun doing something you don't enjoy, is it, Alan?
No. Lee had quite an impact in the league, and we were sorry to see him go. But you know, he wasn't settling anymore. He didn't feel like he was happy and contending himself. And even though he had 2 driver of the meeting awards, he's moved on.
Absolutely splendid driver.
Yes, and we wish him well. You know, there's no. He's a splendid chap, and he'll be welcome back at any time, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Door is always open for Lee, and you know his contribution to racing in our leagues has always been fantastic. I can take his point. This is now a very competitive league. You don't want it to feel like business, and as long as you can treat it like an enjoyable pastime, then you should continue to do it. Driver of the meeting, Miguel and Jamie currently share the top spot. So lots of pressure on us tonight, Alan. There can be, in the words of Highlander, there can be only one. So we've got some work to do here. Gary Craig is currently in joint 3rd place with Lee Bowden, who we've just been mentioning. Alex Sevillano-Lado, who's a spectator tonight. Sam Blees, who's in it to win it for 2nd place tonight. Freddie Van Eekhoven, who's here. And then everybody else for the final spot. It's been a fantastic season, and the demonstration of capability and sportsman-like conduct has been exemplary yet again.
Yeah, it's a shame about Alex not racing tonight, because as far as I remember, I think he's probably the only. He had the double victory last week with his fantastic performance, and he could have leapt up, couldn't he?
Oh yeah.
If he'd have got another double, he could have turned things around, but he's not there. But yeah, we've had some great performances to enjoy. We've just had a feast of a season, the enjoyable sporting racing.
Yep, absolutely. And then we move on to Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award, another coveted trophy. Jamie Jeffrey leads that one, but not by much at all. We're talking fractions now. 45 incidents in 4,045 turns, I should say, at 0.01112 incidents per turn. Gary Craig is a finite margin behind him, so all to drive for in this. And Fiona Siddons could easily take the top spot again and take it back from both of them. We've got Alex, who's not racing, in 4th, and Demis Tigchalar also not racing in 5th in that little competition. So the top 3 will be slugging it out tonight for the Safe Driver Award.
A lot of turns on this circuit.
Lots of turns on this circuit. Let's do more than just mention it. Let's try and jump on board with somebody and view it for ourselves, shall we? Let's put the track map up, which will show you this obscure figure of 8 coordination. Let's have a look at Jamie Wilson's Japanese livery. There it is, utterly resplendent. I love it when they do this livery at these tracks. It is absolutely stunning. Nothing better than watching it. So let's do a lap with Jamie, and I'll try and talk you through what I remember of Suzuka. Let's go on. No, we'll go on roll bar. So we go across the stripe. It's a very, very long start-finish straight here. A massive draft opportunity. And a lovely sweeping right-hander. You've got to be off the gas in advance, slowly dropping down one gear, then the second gear, and then a third gear to get it down to second, and then on the gas, up through these snakes. First corner here is lovingly called first corner, by the way. This is the snake that we're in now, and then this next one that goes right is called the anti-banked turn. It feels like the camber's away from you, but it's not. You can actually roll it through there quite well. Dunlop is this double left-hander. It's actually not that bit, it's more this bit. It tries to draw you out into the sand on the right-hand side in a rear-wheel drive car, not so much in a front-wheel drive car. Then we head into the Degners. Degner 1 is that right-hander, and Degner 2 is this one, the more vicious one.
Tight.
Yeah, very tight. And then we fire it down this short straight with a little kink in it. You're on the brakes as soon as you straighten the car up after the kink. Brilliant from Jamie there. And into the hairpin, which leads us out. It's easy to lose the back end in a rear-wheel drive car, much safer in a front-wheel drive car, into 200R, which is this is a right-hander that feels like it goes on forever. And these corners, these fast right-handers are what chew your tyres up and spit you out. This is Spoon Curve, one of the most challenging corners in the world to get right, I think. A little correction there from Jamie, just to prove my point actually. When you're steering right to turn left, and you know that there's a challenging turn on the calendar. Down the back stretch, which is called back stretch, past the old pits, or the secondary pits, and into, again, another lethal corner, 130R. We've got a curb cam on this corner. Just a bit of a lift there. It's not possible to flatline it through here. And then you're into the, what do they call this? Casino, don't they? Casino Triangle, which is that series of chicanes. Pit lane entry is on the right there. It's not a massive challenge, this one, but pit lane itself is quite a long journey in terms of the length of it, because you've got this huge straight to navigate. So you want to be in the second race, making the best opportunity of your pit stop, Alan.
Yes, indeed, and what a glorious circuit. I love this place. I don't think there's a car that I'd enjoy driving around here.
No. Jamie at the minute in 10th place after his efforts so far, and a little bit off the pace. When I say a little bit, he's a few seconds off the pace at the moment, but he's probably yet to put in his first proper racing lap. Miguel Freitas, top of the pile at the moment, provisionally. Halfway through, which means all fastest laps are still to come. Second provisionally at the moment is Gary Craig, and third provisionally, and I'm not surprised by this because Rob has been showing himself in the upper echelons of the top 5 in the last few races. Rob Sharp in third place, Alan. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yes, can't say I'm terribly surprised. Rob's been really come into the series and instantly showed real class. He's fast and he's handled the driving and the racing really well. These guys, they work to very fine tolerances. If you come into this league, you can expect people to be coming in very close and very often. And he's dealt with all that with aplomb.
He really has, and he is one of the best performing Elantra drivers we've got. The Elantra's not been the feature car this season, I don't think. That and the Audi seem to have been a struggle car, whereas the Honda, the Civic, and the Veloster, the Hyundai, they have been much more top-end competitive. And they've had their own tracks, and they've had poor tracks individually, those two cars, at certain points. But the Elantra, for me, has struggled this season. What do you think, Alan?
Yes, yeah. Well, 2 seasons ago it was the dominant car, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And, so this is a big reverse for it, and we've seen the others rise up, of course, in balance of that. We're seeing great performances out of the cars that maybe weren't so fancied. But yeah, it's interesting what you say about the tracks. They do seem to have made a difference, don't they?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. Different
you
style
know,
of tracks suit the
The
different cars. Yeah.
Audi's thrived in places where the others maybe haven't so well, and yeah, vice versa.
And I mean, I am saying that, but for me, this has been a season with the most balanced BOP that we've ever seen. I think in our leagues, it's been very balanced. I know that some of the faster drivers have chosen the Civic and the Veloster, so I'm probably um, talking about an absolutely skewed statistic there. But I just feel like the Civic and the Veloster have had the edge. Had the edge. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yes, and they've looked like it on this track as well, haven't they? The way
Yes.
they've actually commanded the races.
Yeah, and it's good to see Freddie Van Eekhoven racing again. Hopefully, these Racing Forces cars return for another season. We saw Alex doing very, very well in the Veloster last time out. I think these guys could easily challenge for top fives on a regular basis. I'm sure this probably cues Alex to say that it's going to be Racing Forces night, because I usually get that message at some point. And I guess tonight might be the night. Suzuka can provide a lot of surprises. We're racing at noon, and it's very, very hot. Who knows what the understeer is like in one of these cars on cold tyres?
It's dangerous. It's certainly, while I don't think it's not much of a car wrecker, there's generally a bit of runoff. You have to be
Yes.
unfortunate to get a contact with the wall, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's plenty of places to come off the track
Yeah, you're going to
and
have.
lose your place. And you know, like you said, even with the reduced tow that we're supposed to have with these cars, there's still tow on this track.
Oh, yeah, there's some really good long straights. And you're right, you have to go off the track a long way to find any scenery to collide with. But when you do go off track here, there's certain corners where you feel it's an eternity to get back on. It's a bit Laguna Seca-y in that respect. Some of the corners you disappear off and you're like, Christ, where's the track gone? I got to pay for readmission to get back in the track here. You know, a bit of a Sebring moment on some of the corners. Although Sebring's got some walls that you can definitely hit. This one does not. But yes, we've seen some absolute drama races in V8s around here. It's been a great track for them. I think it's going to be yet another great track for the TCRs, because it comes to this track. TCRs come to this track regularly in the officials, and we've done a few races as we see Miguel Freitas diving into pit road and practicing his pit stop. And why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a big feature of our feature race. So, what have we got for you tonight? We've got the standard 20-minute race, sprint race, followed by a 40-minute feature race with a pit stop, reverse. I'm going to get this wrong again, aren't I? Are we going for a full reverse grid tonight? We are, aren't we? It's reverse 12.
Yeah, 12.
Yep, so the whole grid is going to reverse. I've been contemplating dragging out the old Audi for next season, says David Ayres. I think it's a good shout if you can make it work. I mean, the gearing ratios in it are completely different to the other cars. It's not even slightly similar. If you can make that work for you, as the Racing Forces guys are trying to do, and Stefan usually does a fantastic job with it, I think you can make it competitive. It had a couple of seasons where it was dead in the water, wasn't it, Alan? But it's back. It's back.
Yeah, it's certainly it's been well suited on some of the tracks. Its handling characteristics have done well.
Yep, very much so.
So yes, I mean, if I was David, I'd be trying them all, because they're probably all slightly different from last time David drove them.
That's true.
You might just find he clicks with one really well.
He won't know what to do when his car gets round a whole lap without his internet crashing.
I don't know.
Or his PC crashing, whichever one it was. I've been there. Terrible internet and a PC that's not reliable. It's soul destroying. It really is. Right, here we go then. We are gridding for our first race tonight. So, your pole man is Kelsey Prix, Miguel Freitas for Impulse Racing on a 213.563. Sam Blees is in second. It was Gary Craig in second for a long time, but Sam Blees has wrestled it from Gary's grasp for Hydra Race, Geodesic Racing White, and Rob Sharp in third. What a fantastic performance, firstly forward. Gary Craig in fourth for BSTV. 5th will be Jamie Jeffrey for CCR. 6th will be Freddie Van Eekhoven for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Michael Seal will go off 7th for Result Clothing. Tony Walker will go off 8th. Matt Flannery will go off 9th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Jamie Wilson will go off 10th for Team Chimera. Fiona Siddons will go off 11th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. And JB Dejoux will bring up the rear of the field for BSTV Esports Blue.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we should get some good dramas tonight, that's for sure. Very dramatic racing. It's such a good track for these cars, for any cars actually. I've always been fully entertained by this circuit, and the cameras are good around here. And we've got a curb cam.
Last race of the season.
Last race of the last 2 races of the
Last
season.
2 races of the season.
Here we go. Lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Green flag, green flag.
Held for a little while there, but let go eventually. Some overtakes possibly further back. Don't know who that is in the black looking car down the centre.
Oh no, Tony Walker rode it.
Oh, is it?
Tony?
It's definitely... Oh, it's Michael Seal.
Oh, it's Michael.
Yeah, he's done well there. He's up 2 positions from the start. He's absolutely mugged 2 cars. Oh yes, because he swapped into the Veloster, didn't he? That's right. Yes. So at halfway point in the season, he swapped cars, and this is his first one back. So hopefully he enjoys it. He's in 5th place at the minute. And oh, look at that! Sam Blee's taking it to Miguel Freitas immediately. So this is through Dunlop. The next one is the Degners. And you've got to be brave or daft to go too wide into the Degners, but they're doing it anyway. Sam Blees has come off a little bit second hand there. And Gary Craig fighting for it.
Dangerous under the bridge.
Yeah, nothing in it for the whole field at the moment as Sam's gone to the outside of Miguel for the hairpin. Does that open the door for Rob Sharp? I mean, that's a Racing Forces car that's gone very wide. It was Freddie. Hopefully he's going to defend that. As everybody sets off round 200R. Sam Blees is making a proper race of this for Miguel.
Well, Sam's, we've seen, haven't we, the lead car in the sprint race driving away. We've seen it happening. And Sam's really obviously determined to try and stop Miguel. Just driving away from the front of the race while everybody else is involved behind him.
Yeah, I think I cursed Michael Seal, sadly, because I think he got out of shape going through Spoon, or someone helped him, and he's lost quite a few places there. I mean, it's lap 1 antics, so it's to be expected as the front 4 get away.
Michael's a cool customer. He'll deal with that, and we know it's a hot track, and cold tyres always play a part in these early laps.
They do. Sam Blees still not letting Miguel get away here. Not properly anyway. Oh, yeah, and then Rob Sharp closing in on Sam Blees. So I think Sam Blees had a bit of a moment going into one of those corners, possibly Casino Triangle. Oh, and that's Tony Walker nearly round on himself. There was no one near him, I don't think. I might be wrong about that, but it didn't look like there was anyone near him. Jamie Wilson's lost a position there, trying to get out of the way. Up the hill we go through the S's, up towards Dunlop and anti-banked turn. These guys are already through that section. A little gap forming now.
Yeah, bit of a gap, and Gary's hanging on.
Yes.
And, Rob is doing very well. He holding his position. He was 3rd on the grid, and he's holding nicely. And it's not like they're going slow.
No, definitely not. Tony Walker under pressure again now from Michael Seal. There was pressure before, but it eased.
His brother's not here this week, but Tony's turned up and he's flying the flag.
He really is. He's doing a great job at the minute. Rob Sharp is keeping the pressure on Sam Blees right now. Gary Craig closing in. on Rob Sharp here.
Looks like Jamie is starting to get a gap
Yep.
as well, slightly. So that's showing very good pace for Jamie, because that's pure pace. He's not getting much dough from in front, and there's Freddie behind him. Freddie's quick, so
He is.
you don't gap Freddie very easily.
Right, so JB trying to put a move on Matt Flannery here. Nearly getting it done there. So Elantra versus Honda Civic, and JB is in an excellent position for an overtake. Wrong car, Pete. Wrong car. This is the car you want. They must be alongside one another. They are.
Oh, this is going to be all down to the right-hander.
It is. JB on the brakes a little earlier, but that might play to his favour. Maybe.
Oh, he's not giving up.
The car's twitchy.
Still keeping that tight line. He's not giving up yet.
Not yet.
I think that's it.
JB's putting lots of pressure on. He's learnt what to do in this Elantra now, hasn't he? He's become a bit more of a master of it.
Yeah, this is, as you know, it's a tricky old bit of road up that snake.
Yep.
The
Easy to
camber,
get
the
offline.
slope,
Yeah.
everything's, it's very easy just to make the slightest miscalculation and get on the sand, and that's pretty much a disaster going up there. And yeah, that was well handled by both drivers actually, because
Yep.
there's pressure on and considerable skill in handling of that section. And of course the hairpin as well, you know, everybody's diving in here, it's hot, and it's trying to carry all your pace through, because this builds up that flat out section across the top, and then that mad braking, isn't it?
It is.
Get around the top there and without skewing off to the side.
Oh, here we go again with these two.
Right, it's another daredevil break, isn't it?
Yeah, into Spoon Corner. Matt Flannery a little bit more confident on the brakes than JB. JB's got a better line through the second phase of that corner, though, has he? No. Matt Flannery goes around the outside.
He's got all the toe there, though, so
He
he
does.
might be able to just jump out. It depends on the kind of exit he gets, really.
Yeah, to overtake into 130R is an act of either heroism, bravery, or absolute madness.
This is a possibility if you can do the brakes here. But,
Yeah, Matt Flannery taking the defensive line, though.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this run from JB now. This has got to be good for him. Look at the way the Civic just pulls away. It absolutely romps off, doesn't it?
Goodness me, that's got some lift. But
JB
it's driving extremely well, of course.
Yeah,
it's
JB came out of
well.
it came out of Casino Triangle with quite a lot of momentum. I don't know whether he had to get out of the gas because there was a Civic there. Possibly the case.
Yes, because I think they're actually, I don't think they're far apart in those circumstances.
No,
They both deal with the curves pretty well, don't they?
they do. First four holding station at the moment. Jamie Jeffrey in a bit of no man's land between the two groups of cars.
What's his lap times looking like? They're all in the fives, aren't they?
They are.
So, just slightly spread out. But this is fine driving by all of them, because they're probably right on the edge, aren't they? Trying to keep in. They're just on the edge of losing all the toe. There's no toe, and
Yeah, side by side these two were through the Degners, which is brave. And JB has got it done for now, let's say. Because Matt Flannery is no slouch. I think he'll be back on him shortly once his tyres have come back to temperature on him. We're going to move to this battle, which is Tony Walker.
Driving by JB.
Yeah, really nice. He'd have loved that. Both of them would.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you suggested, I don't think that'll be over, will it?
No. So these three cars here, you've got Freddie Van Eekhoven in that Hydro Race Racing Forces Audi, followed by Tony Walker, who's closed in on him, and then Michael Seal, who's very quick, very quick. He's out of position. He is turning laps Oh, actually, he's turning laps a little bit slower at the moment than the two in front. It's Tony Walker that's the fastest car of this trio.
I think Tony's doing extremely well. You know, we know how fast Freddie is, and Tony's not being dropped. Far from it. And
No way.
This is a really good performance by him.
We should move forward to have a look at this battle because it's becoming something to talk about now. Rob Sharp has got that Elantra into third place and he's maintaining it at the moment, but Gary looks like he's reeling him in slowly but surely.
Ooh, trying to claw it back. Crikey, he's on to work for it, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Up and through Dunlop towards the Degners. And the Degners, when you get them right, you feel mighty. When you get them wrong, you feel a bit embarrassed, to be honest, because it'll punt you off into the scenery, and you get a lot of gravel.
One of the places where you risk a wall there.
Yes.
Under the bridge.
Yeah. I found that wall many times, and I found the wall on the right-hand side, on the technically the inside of the track, because your car spears off to the right, particularly in rear-wheel cars, rear-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, I've put my master in that wall so many times I can't tell you. But it's all good fun.
Oh, definitely.
And this looks like Gary's having good fun here. He doesn't look like he's overdriving or anything, does he, Gary?
No.
He's well under control here, and
I know.
He's the lead guy still. He's halfway through the race.
Yeah. I do know that Gary does like this track. I've raced it with him so many times. He's just well attuned to it, and he's proving that tonight. I mean, that the position he's in now needs to be respected.
Now, we'll have to see how Jamie's going to do, because it would be nice if he could clamber onto the back of these people, but I think they've got just slightly the edge.
Jamie Jeffrey is turning laps. What's his last lap? 2:14.88. All the cars in front of him are faster than him by 0.2 minimum. So yeah, they are slowly pulling away from him. It would be nice though.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Seal sideways. That's gonna do nothing for your tyres. That was braking at the wrong point. That was braking while you're turning. At that point in the track, it's not going to work.
I imagine he wasn't expecting to be having to do that.
No, not at all. He'll be annoyed, I'm sure.
Yes, because he's very aware of that technical, technical to do with tyres and all this stuff. He's very, he's got his coken with all that stuff, as Michael.
Yep.
He's in the trade. Spends his life around racing cars.
I know, yeah. Very experienced, as I'm led to believe. Right.
There's that green car. Now, come on, Mr. Minty.
Yeah. I'm sure he's still enjoying his racing. I'm sure he'd like to be in the thick of it with the cars in front of him, but we'll see.
Well, it's an interesting battle. He's trying to get on, and JB's chasing him, and
JB is turning laps faster than Jamie Wilson at the moment. I think Jamie had a bit of a bad last lap. I think there was something went wrong, because JB's pulled a second on him, which is impressive. He's also pulling away pretty quickly now, actually, from Matt Flannery, who he was absolutely slugging it out with not that long ago.
Yes, very impressed by JB tonight.
Yeah, very, yeah.
This is a grand, because, Matt's a really good driver, and they were having a real good old battle, but clearly JB's got the pace of it. Wow, well done, matey.
Definitely. Okay, so these two, again, closing in. Tony Walker on Freddie van Eekhoven. Freddie's doing what Freddie does well, and he's keeping it clean and racing his own race is what it looks like to me from the positioning of that car and the behaviour of it. He's
Yes.
not being put off by the affections of the car behind him.
Oh, he's done some pile of close racing this season, as Freddie, hasn't he? He's had a baptism of fire after baptism of fire.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, he knows exactly where he is and what's happening around him, and he's driving well. He always drives well, Simpson. I've been very impressed by him. And his teammates. I think they've been a great addition to the league.
They have. It's been very refreshing having the Racing Forces guys in here. Right, so Michael Seal dusted himself down. Tony Walker has had a little bit of a moment. He's fallen off the back of Freddie a little. So Michael Seal gathering himself together again to mount another challenge. At the moment, he's one position back from where he started. So he'll want at least that much, I would think.
5 minutes, Michael. See what you can do.
Yeah.
But Tony's no walkover these days, my friend, let me tell you.
No.
I've seen him defend hard these last few weeks.
Yeah, we'll just remind you what's going on at the front. So Miguel Freitas leading the race by 2.2 seconds now. It's started to get some gaps in the field in the last 2 or 3 laps. Sam Blees is in second place, 1.5 seconds ahead of Rob Sharp, who is now slowly starting to pull away from Gary Craig, and they're all slowly pulling away from Jamie Jeffrey. Freddie Van Eekhoven.
Low.
I know, yeah.
It's I think they've done. I think Sam's done, and Rob and Gary have done amazingly well to stay so close to Miguel, because we know how lightning he is, and they've kept him well within sight, and that's not easy. They've had to work hard for these positions.
Yeah, they are keeping him honest tonight. We've got Freddie Van Eekhoven, who made a mistake going into first corner and shot straight through it, really, but he got it under control again before it became too late. But he has dropped back towards Tony Walker and Michael Seal. Michael Seal is utterly on one at the moment. He's doing laps which are enough to get him into 5th place. If you take my point, they're turning laps at the same sort of time as him. And Tony Walker on the brakes is mighty. Did you see that? That was incredible.
Mighty. I thought for a minute he got it wrong.
Yeah.
It was going to be a 4-pointer. But no, superb. I think Tony's a very much improved driver myself.
I do. Even his I rating is way higher than it was not too long ago.
That might explain why he's a far better driver. He's been putting the time in.
I think that is it, yeah. Practice gets you everything in racing, doesn't it?
But it sure helps. It does. It just makes you a better driver. Your timing, your understanding, everything just gets better with time in the car. Even for me, that's been true.
Oh, Michael Seal gets a tyre off as we join him on board. That was a bit of a Code Brown moment, it has to be said.
That's not his first either tonight, so...
No, as Miguel puts up the fastest lap of the race again.
Yes. Well, saving it for the end, but I still think Sam can be very happy with his times.
Definitely.
That 2:13 is a bit devastating.
I didn't see a flag just then, so I don't think we're on last lap yet. I think we go to 10 laps. It'll be 11, won't it, if they do this one plus... Oh, no. No, yeah, 10 laps, yeah. Miguel must be getting through these laps pretty damn quick if he's not taken the yellow already. And Michael Seal is about as close as he's been to the back of Tony Walker's car, so I think we will see something before the race is through.
Those curbs, you can feel them, can't you?
Oh yeah. Tony got a little bit wild coming out of Degner 2, but he's kept it together really well there.
Got to get your braking right here.
And that was about as perfect as you're going to get from Michael Seal and from Tony, because Tony...
Absolutely.
Yeah, pulled away.
Sweet, the pair of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fantastic. Got to look a long way back at the minute to find Jamie Wilson. I think he's been off track. Not much. He's just in the top of the screen there. As we watch Miguel Freitas probably going to come and collect the white flag this time round. Maybe it was last time and I missed it. I don't know. Where's the start-finish line on this track?
The checkered flag.
Oh, it is. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I must have missed it last time because start-finish is where?
That was it.
Where's? Barney's not visible. That's why I didn't see it.
Can't see him.
Right. So Miguel takes the top spot in that race with Sam Blease, Rob Sharp and Gary Craig following him home. And then everybody else, which we'll talk about in a moment. Where did Michael Seal end up? He followed Tony Walker home in the end. So that didn't pile up to who he got within 0.27 of a second, though. So a fantastic effort, and got himself his fastest lap of the race on that last lap. So he was absolutely picking it up and putting it down behind him.
Yeah, I think that. I do hope they all enjoyed that. And Fiona is still out of the circuit coming in. And
oh yeah, good point.
A tough night in prospect for Fee, to be honest. This is a fast circuit, and these guys aren't holding back. It's the last event of the season, and this is not the kind of track where you can hang on very well.
No.
I would be dropping off the back instantaneously, and I think that's going to be Fee's fate tonight as well.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. So let's have a look at the finishing order. He says confidently.
Look, you know what you're doing with those buttons, Bonnie lad.
Well, you say that.
Well, it's because you've always managed to do it.
Yeah, I've had problems getting the results up in the last few races. It just does. Oh, there we go. Just SDK being a bit slow, maybe. Okay, so Miguel Freitas wins round 23. 1 to go after that for Impulse Racing. Sam Blease finished second for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White with Rob Sharp. That's a brilliant result for Rob Sharp. Third place, podium finish for Fiercely Forward. Gary Craig finished fourth for BSTV. Jamie Jeffrey finished fifth for CCR. Sixth was Freddie Van Eekhoven for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Tony Walker finished seventh. Michael Seal finished eighth for Result Clothing. Ninth was Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. JB Dejoux finished 10th for BSTV Esports Blue. 11th was Matt Flannery for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And Fiona Siddons we saw come home 12th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. And now we look towards the last race of the season. Miguel's going to start in last place for the first time, Alan.
Well, I know. I do believe he started in last place a few weeks. Well, ended up in last place a few weeks ago, didn't he? Had to come through the whole field.
Did, yeah.
But he's going to start in last tonight. But my feeling is there won't be any holding him.
Right. Okay.
I don't know how you can defend against him on a circuit like this.
No, it's a wide open track. There are places to overtake round here. It's not a place that you find difficult to mount a challenge. The situation here is everybody's very, very good.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens. But I think we're going to get some pretty spectacular overtakes over the course of this 40-minute race. And with a pit stop, folks, they're on 35% fuel limitation, so they have to pit. We've seen only Sam Blease do was it a no-stopper? It was a no-stopper, wasn't it?
Yeah, under the flag.
Yeah, under the flag, and there was a caution in a race, a full course caution, which enabled him and only him to challenge the common concept and did a flag to flag in the feature race. David Ayres says one of his parrots doesn't seem impressed with our commentary. I hope that's not a euphemism. She's trying to compete with you both, either that or she's just enjoying the race. And let's just assume for a minute that is the case, shall we, Alan?
Well, you know, he's got very smart parrots.
Right. Okay. I don't.
Perhaps we should invite them into the booth and they can, you know. Ooh,
Yeah.
that doesn't look good, does it?
No, that's Tony
that was one of
Walker.
those- That was one of those corners where you can hit a wall if you get it sadly wrong.
Yes. And are we going to see Rob enter the pits? Yes, we are. Tony Walker trying a different line through Dagna 1, and it didn't work, so don't do that again. That was a nice, efficient pit stop from Rob Sharp. Finds his pit box, does a little practice.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this because, you know, where's Sam going to be? Is he going to be at the back as well?
He is, yeah. He's going to be second off last.
Second to last. So both of them are going to be trying to get through the field. None of these other guys are interested in letting them do that.
No. And why should they, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be intriguing. And I don't think you can stop them, but I'm going to be very interested in how they go about this.
Yeah, definitely.
It
And
tends to be a bit of a feast.
so how many parrots has David Ayres got then?
I think it's a couple at last count.
Right, okay. Because they're quite, A, expensive, and B, hard to entertain, aren't they? They get bored because they're an intelligent creature.
Yeah. Well, I think David's just got away with them and his missus. They're very contented parrots, and you can hear them often in the background.
Very cool.
Kirking away. Yeah. No, well, you know, he's got a boat, David. He goes on the Broad, so he'll probably take his parrots with him. You know, looks good with his wooden leg.
Yeah, I was going to say an eye patch and...
Yeah. Does the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So he just come back now. It's amazing. Even though he's only on the Norfolk Broads, he comes back encrusted with salt. Astonishing.
Oh dear, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that before. Right then, so I think we're going racing for the last and final round of Season 13 TCR Challenge Cup. I'm going to race through these. Fiona Siddons will be your pole girl.
Yay!
Matt Flannery will go off on the front row next to her. JB Dejoux will be third. Jamie Wilson will be fourth. Michael Seal will be fifth. Sixth will be Tony Walker. Seventh, Freddie Van Eekhoven. Jamie Jeffrey will go off eighth. Ninth will be Gary Craig. 10th will be Rob Sharp. 11th will be Sam Blease. And our soon-to-be crowned champion, Miguel Freitas, will go off last. So this could be a very interesting race. Hopefully for all the right reasons. So, just waiting for Sam Blease to join the grid.
Yes, this is exciting.
I mean,
Last
there
one
he
of the
is.
season. It's been such a fantastic season, Pete.
It really has. It's been brilliant. Lights are going on. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Green flag, green flag.
And then they should get released. Bit of wheel spin from somebody at the front and somebody in the middle. Fiona has got away well, actually.
Yeah, he's got a good start.
Yeah. 3 wide, I think, maybe. Nearly into the first turn. 2 wide at the minute. Matt Flannery trying to hold his own. Bit of a contact. Fiona punted out into the gravel trap. And then...
Oh, good recovery.
Yeah. Fiona wins the first to last challenge. And that is Matt Flannery. Yeah, Matt Flannery. So there was definitely contact there. Yeah. We'll have a look at both of those incidents in a minute because we can't really look away from this rabble. Freddie, JB getting a bit of...
a wheel on the grass.
Yeah, he's not hit anything yet.
No, he's okay.
So he's going to get back on, hopefully, undamaged. But it's a bit of a brawl at the minute. I bet Miguel's thinking, I'll stay back here. Stay back here.
I think the cold tires have had a part saying
without a doubt, yeah. Matt Flannery has had to jump to pit road. Hopefully he'll rejoin. But that's a long tow on this track. Everybody gets a fast repair.
Oh,
One of them. So Miguel and Sam Blees side by side at the back of the queue here.
So this is an interesting dynamic. Are they going to fight and actually occupy each other and let the guys in front just get a little bit of a gap?
I don't know, but Jamie Wilson looks like he's starting to get away, and Gary Craig is up 6 positions from the start and is about to get a 7th because he's mega fast coming out of Spoon.
Okay, that would have been impressive if he pulled that off then just then, wouldn't it?
It would. I think he's going to be patient and wait. That was a funny line from Tony Walker, so I think we may see an overtake shortly. Oh my God, Freddie, where you going, mate? Good grief! It was
Should be all right.
like he hit a landmine.
Yes.
I mean, he's going to get slow down of the century, but he's alive, and everybody else is as well. What a miracle that was! Good God, he was like a missile.
And it's possible to come straight through there. I've done that as well.
Let's watch this from above because this was unbelievable. Oh, it started well before I thought it did.
No, once you're on that grass. Oh, how lucky is that?
Jamie Wilson has got a boot full of rabbit's feet.
Oh, my word. Oh, if Peter can't frame that.
I know, yeah.
That's amazing. How did he get that through there? Brown trousers all round.
I know. I bet Jamie Wilson knew nothing of it, thankfully. Just saw a flash in his rearview mirror, I expect, as Jamie Jeffrey puts a move on Rob Sharp. Too wide.
Oh.
Gary Craig's trying to get it done in front as well.
Oh, Jamie will have been waiting all last race to do that.
Right.
He spent the whole of the last race chasing Rob, didn't he?
Yeah.
They just up the road. They were just that little bit in front, just out of the toe, and just couldn't get onto them, could he? And Rob was in third, and just trying to get hold of them and just couldn't manage it. Oh dear! So no, he's just put a move on one of them. So good on him.
So Miguel Freitas has managed to move forward in rapid. Oh crikey, Tony, where you going, mate?
Oh.
Is he back? Is he back? No, he's wide again.
No.
Oh, Sam Blees, evasive manoeuvres, brilliant though. Good grief, this is an action-packed couple of laps. And we're still on, I've had to leave it on replay because I'd have missed it all in live timing. So Miguel Freitas has absolutely stomped his way to the front.
Yeah, where's me whiskey?
Towards the front. I know, good grief.
This is hot stuff, mate.
Yeah.
This is bloody hot stuff, mate.
Rob Sharp.
Look at Miguel, he's up to 5th already.
I know. Gary Craig is doing even better at the minute. He's up to 2nd. Rob Sharp tried to get something done there. It didn't happen. Michael Seals gathered himself together and he's got fast flying Freddie in front of him. Right, let's see if... Oh, no, we haven't got time to go and look at anything because everybody's on everybody else here. Rob Sharp, lovely overtake or an attempt on it. All that's going to do is invite Miguel. Oh, no! Oh! Jem, there's been a murder. Oh, God. Well done, Tony. Well done, Tony. Avoided it. I mean, last race of the season, if you wanted entertainment, you're getting it, folks. David Ayres, still talking about parrots. Go on, Fiona.
You'll never turn down a chance like that.
No way. Tyres will be red hot on that yellow Elantra. And Gary Craig citing Jamie Wilson for an overtake for the lead. As David Ayres, still talking about parrots, says he's got 2 parrots, one Amazon Blue, one Burrowing parrot, and Scary Mary, apparently. If she ever listens to these broadcasts, she's going to kill him. He'll never wake up one day.
She listens to him.
Yeah. When she asks it, what's Dave's name, comes straight back and says, comes straight back with wanker. Which is hilarious. Oh, here we go, pass for the lead. Into Spoon Corner. Jamie's good, but wide. That's going to open the door for Gary on the second phase. No contact. and away we go. Gary
Oh,
Craig,
Mauro, magnificent.
absolutely. And we've got it going on here as well. Oh, Craigie, I missed it there. I misclicked. That's Miguel on Jeffrey going into 130R. Nice overtake. That would have been all done back at Spoon.
Right at the top. And yeah, just the pace and the skill to come around there on that corner and that because the car is really trying to break away. There's a lot of G-force.
Yeah.
And that was just immaculate.
It really was. I mean, Gary Craig now has open track ahead of him. Gary's good at open track. He's good at passing people as well. But Miguel is... Oh, that's Michael Seal. He's having trouble with first corner. First corner, that's the third time in 2 races that he's...
Not getting his braking right.
No, not quite. And that's a surprise because he's usually very, very calm and calculated.
I think he's trying to push on. He's trying to push on and just slightest. You only need the slight miscalculation, don't you?
You do.
So, look, here we go. He's cozying up now.
Yeah.
Cozy up to Sam. Well, if you can do that, you're not doing bad.
Yeah, he needs to get his own sleeping bag, I think.
Every time I see Sam is when I've got my binoculars out.
Yeah. David Ayres says they're making me work for it tonight. They really are. I can't point the camera at the right ones at the moment because everybody's battling everybody. I'm just going to go back and look at what Michael Seal did at this first turn here. He should be coming into shot in a second. Oh, he's already wide, so that was a waste of time me doing that one, wasn't it? Right, we'll ignore that. It was just him running straight
Nice
through.
rejoin, no?
Oh yeah, nice rejoin. And he's not lost a great deal of time, but he did lose a position, so that's going to be a pretty hefty impact. He's sideways coming into Spoon again. That's going to do his tyres no good whatsoever.
I don't think it's the worst place in the world to be just behind.
He's got the best toe in the world.
moment.
Yeah, too right.
A
Yeah.
very bit of toe, and he can save a bit of fuel.
Miguel Freitas has absolutely eaten up that gap that was in front of him. Unbelievable.
They disappear. His pace is, I'm tempted to say, outlandish.
Yeah.
It's just astonishingly quick.
Look at the drive he gets off Casino.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? How does he do that exactly?
No idea, but at the moment,
I think he's got those fast pedals in his car.
Yeah, Flintstone style, yeah.
Yeah.
Miguel Freitas, fastest lap of this race. Just been posted there.
Not surprising, really, when you see that, is it?
No, and Jamie's giving him a fight for second place, and he's had to go wide.
Yeah,
and Jamie's got it back. Good effort,
He's giving
Jamie.
him plenty. Well, Jamie's not going to give up. He's never going to give up.
No.
And he defends hard. And he's skillfully as well.
Yeah, I mean, Miguel, such a great driver. He'll be loving it, even though he's not getting it all his own way.
No, this is exactly what he wants. He wants everybody to put up a fight. He doesn't want a procession. It's the last thing a racer like Miguel wants. He wants people out there to give him a race.
Yeah, and he's going to get it here.
And Jamie will do his best to oblige him.
So into Degner 1 together. Race towards Degner 2. Miguel keeps it on the outside and gets a lovely drive, and there's nothing you can do about that.
No, it's just... I don't think there's anybody can defend against someone like Miguel on this circuit, really.
No, that was stunning work.
It's just sheer class, and it's a privilege to watch.
Yeah, it really is a privilege to watch. It's just talent on show, isn't it?
It really is. This is iRacing, the top of iRacing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get to watch this every week. Fantastic.
So Gary Craig has got a 2.35 second lead.
It's not enough.
I don't think it's enough to hold back the tsunami that's chasing him down back straight at the moment. Miguel's...
It'd be enough if he'd only got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. Oh dear. But let's see, because we've had other surprises before.
Yes. Yeah. And well, Gary is so track aware.
Yes, very much
So
so.
he will know what's happening behind him. He will be well aware there will be some happy verbal communications in the chat there and in the discords between the cars, and he'll know exactly what's going on, and he'll know that he's got Grease Lightning Miguel coming his way,
Yeah, Big Mig.
and he'll be going as fast as he can.
Yeah,
Miguel's fight last as long as possible, but I expect he'll be expecting to see him in his rearview mirrors anytime soon.
yeah. And
Look at that gap he's got already.
I know, what the hell? How many times have we seen this as well? The two Jamies fighting over a bit of tarmac.
Yeah.
That's happened many, many times this season.
Well,
Lovely line from Jamie Wilson.
Freddie's the perfect compliment. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a lovely triumvirate because, yeah, I would say, talk about three musketeers, perfect happy racers.
Yeah.
All got great pace and all can race, all can handle a car.
I don't know what Freddie's had in his Stroop waffle, but it's doing him good because he's really fast tonight. He's caught up with these guys really rapidly. Ooh, what's going on back here? What was that? Was that Rob Sharp overtaking Sam Blees? Oh, Sam went off track. Which is very un-Sam-like. So what happened here? Did he get help?
Oh,
This is Degner 2, it's where it's at. Oh, he didn't get the apex.
no,
Then got a bit of gravel. And then, yeah, Rob just got a run on him. And then Sam let him go.
That's all we need. And,
I think, who was it that said, is his fuel saving? Lee Bowden. Welcome to the chat, Lee. Sorry you're not racing with us for the rest of this and next season at least. We were just rewind the broadcast. We said great things about you. Don't worry. Is Sam fuel saving? I think he may well be. You know, that was the behaviour of someone who isn't bothered about getting overtaken. Maybe there's a surprise yet to come. Fortuitous that I chose Jamie Jeffrey to put the camera on just there. He's gone to pit road. He's the first. And he's not the last because there's Tony Walker.
So we've got the early stoppers. This has been a tried and tested strategy now, the early stop.
Yeah.
This isn't as early as we've had as some of them, is it? So that's 7.
No, we've had others. But this is a long lap. This is a very long lap.
It is a long lap, it is
Yeah,
indeed.
and I think that'll be playing into part of it. Rob Sharp is absolutely picking him up and putting him behind him at the minute. He's caught Michael Seal really rapidly. He was fighting with Sam just a little while ago. I know it was on replay, but it wasn't that far behind the live action. I'm going to try for a fourth time to go back to the beginning and see precisely what happened. Because it's got Sam Blees had crashed right at the very start. So what was that all about?
We had a bad start.
He did. Michael Seal did as well. He was well out of it. But I don't see why it's got him down as crashed.
Let's get to the first corner. Would be it. If it's going to be one, it'll be here, won't it?
Yeah, he must have made contact with somebody then in that case.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's further up the track. It's recorded his start as a crash. How ridiculous.
That wasn't a crash.
Right. Who's getting racy in the live? So that was a waste of time, folks. Apologies for that. Michael Seal must be damaged. He was a lot faster in the first race than he is in this race. And Rob Sharp is...
Oh, 2:15.1, Michael.
yeah. Oh, 130R, too wide. Don't think so. That's just suicide territory, that. Rob Sharp's kept it alongside. Brilliant racing. Really good. Can he hold it round the outside of Casino? No, he can't. He's going to run out of track.
Well, Rob, according to the clock, Rob's coming in and he's got, something like half a second on Michael. So,
yeah. I think
yeah.
Carl Hardy's watching this about 20 minutes behind us because he's just said, Freddie, how the hell did he miss them all? Pretty sure that was in the previous race.
But it was very exciting, wasn't it?
How much time did Gary have? 2.3 seconds, I think I read out.
Yes.
Well, that's gone.
Well, we knew that was going to happen, didn't we?
We did.
But
So-
it was a rather big. But there, no surprise to Gary. He would have been expecting to see Miguel anytime
Oh
soon.
yeah, I mean,
And you know, Gary won't be making it easy. If anybody can defend, it's this chap. He will be trying to make his car 12 feet wide currently.
yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Grow wide tablets. He throws them on the floor and it suddenly pops out 12 feet wide. Very useful for bending corners. And totally invisible to the stewards as well.
Yeah.
So, well, this is a likely spot.
It is.
Anywhere it's wide and they're using the brakes. So anywhere where it's wide and they're using the brakes, that's dangerous.
Right, what can... There is an overtake going on here. It's Tony Walker. Oh, Jamie Wilson's just passed Jamie Jeffrey again. We'll watch that in a minute. I think this is going to surmount to something.
This is that.
Is he going to launch it down the right-hand side here? No, he's going left. How does that work? Oh, he's going to do a
It
cutback
doesn't
in
work.
the middle of the casino. So he's going to cut back here.
That's not going to work. That's
No.
not going to work. Gary's going
Oh,
to
Gary. Oh, nice line.
Only.
Yeah, lovely lines from Gary Craig.
Well, I told you, Gary can defend, but I just don't think it matters. I really don't think it matters at the end of the day. The man's just too quick.
Car
You cannot
control
defend against that.
is impressive. Can Gary fight back? He needs to snap back immediately to try and stop Miguel's momentum. But Miguel's car positioning is just too good.
Yeah,
Beautiful driving from both of them.
Sam trying to do the same things, you know, to interfere with his rhythm, to get in his phase, to just, you know, anything to. But wow, that's just class and yeah, beautiful to watch. Not so great for Gary, but you know, he's Gary will appreciate the skill and the class of that.
Definitely. So this is Battle of the Jamies. Oh, they were so close there. Good.
You just can't
God.
see an end to this with these two because
No,
whoever gets in front, they're not going to be able to drop the other chap.
no.
But they're not saving any fuel currently.
I don't think they can. So there's the place back again. Then there's going to be a cutback here, surely. This is Team Jamie thrashing it out. Look at that, Jamie Jeffrey on the brakes. Good God.
Oh,
Little tiniest of lockups.
that's such a tough corner.
I think.
Oh.
Ooh, nice move. Oh, that's just beautiful driving. What fantastic driving, Alan.
Crikey. Well, we've seen plenty of it tonight, Pete.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter where you are in the field.
I think.
Just a whole bunch of them are absolutely crack aces, aren't they, really?
Yeah, I think Michael Seal is carrying lots of damage because this happened a minute ago.
Oh.
That's a
no.
strange way to crash at Degner, and he's had to reset the car.
That's,
I
you think he was damaged before?
I think he was damaged right at the very start.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The way that car came off looked like
It's bizarre.
a damaged suspension.
Yes. Oh,
Because, you know,
Jamie
we had
Jeffrey! Jamie Jeffrey!
Yeah.
Where have you... Oh, no! Jamie Wilson's nearly catching him. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Somebody pass me. My blood pressure pills!
Oh, no.
So, multiple cars to pit road, I expect. I don't know why Jamie parked it in the middle of the turn. I think he was trying to jump to pits or something.
No, just
Maybe
just
disoriented.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, he couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere even if he
Get on your
tried.
brake.
Oh, Tony flew around the corner and there was a
He hadn't
car.
had time. He was probably looking for the button.
Yeah, he couldn't go anywhere. He had no traction.
No.
He was trying to reset the car. You could see it. So, oops. Don't know what that button does actually. But I pressed it anyway.
Hmm.
Right. Okay. So, high drama in the last race of the season. Not drama that we want to see, of course.
No, because I think we're giving it large and a very, very exciting racing.
Yeah, because that was Jamie Jeffrey, like all on his own. He got 130 hard, which is a new verb. You can 130R yourself. Tyre on the grass and into the wall. But then he had no engine, no traction, no nothing, and Tony Walker had nowhere to go. So,
yeah. Oh, just unfortunate circumstances chaining together. And we've still got a race. We've still got Miguel now in the front, and he's only managed to pull a second and a half of Gary, which I think is a heck of a credit to Gary.
Yeah, definitely.
And Freddie now running a strong third, because Sam will be chasing him hard, but he's got 7 seconds to find. And we don't know about it. Freddie hasn't been in the pits, has he? Has any of these top 4 been in the pits?
No, not yet. We are waiting for all of these guys, actually, as I just cover all of my screens with Discord, to visit. Top 4 plus, who's that? Fiona Siddons, as usual, running it till it's dry. Michael Seal on the chat says, thanks for another great season. Come and join us in the chat if you've got the time, unless you're helping Fiona with her lines. We'd love to speak to you and hear about this race, because it's been drama ridden, that's for sure. Certainly not a boring race at all. Miguel Freitas is your race leader. He has nearly 2 seconds, or he now actually has 2 seconds on Gary Craig. Third place is Freddie Van Eekhoven.
Yeah, really, Freddie's going to be well happy to be there, and with a decent lead over Sam.
Yeah.
Something to, he's going to fight, or this is enough for him. He's going to be inspired to fight, and it'll be fascinating to see if Sam can close this, because Sam will be motivated to close that gap.
I'm motivated to jump on board with him and see what's going on here, because he's 15 seconds behind. Look at this fuel saving. That's about as much as you can imagine. Is he going to try and... He can't no-stop a race around Suzuka, surely. I mean, there's loads of opportunity to get off the gas, but does that make you fast enough to keep in it?
Who is going to try something like that? Some daftness like that?
Some idiot called Sam Blees, probably. Look at that, he's off the gas for miles!
I mean, if of all the people in the universe, who would you think would try and pull a flag to flag?
He's barely touched the gas going through 130R. Now he's got to gas down the start-finish straight. He's got no choice.
Problem is, he's got to do something with his lap times. He can't be losing 4 seconds a lap to Miguel. He'll get lapped.
No, I know. I mean, what's he doing at the minute? 2:16s. Nearly 2:17.
Yeah.
But he's miles off the corner while he's off the gas. I can't do this, When I'm not on the gas, I end up crashing even more.
We've got no grip, have we yet?
No, well, that's what it feels like. Matt Flannery's been off the track.
Yeah. I need to have a car in drive, otherwise you can't drive it.
Yeah. This is just bizarre. I don't know. This is good drama, though, for the last race of the season. I love it. I think this is fantastic.
Major aiming job going on here.
Yes. Anybody want to place any bets now? Because I ain't got a clue. I feel like Chief Wiggum off The Simpsons. Yeah, we're asking for any members of the public to tell us what's going on, because we don't have a clue. That's my best Wiggum impression. So, anybody's got a better one, feel free to join us in the booth.
We'll get Chief Wiggum in here. He'll show you.
Too right.
Well, this is looking very, very good for Freddie at the moment. Gotta say.
I'm thinking the same, but then I've been massively wrong before about strategies. So,
Well, you know,
I'm going to keep my tongue behind my teeth and some
Big
semblance of
Big and
self-respect.
Gary Craig have got him for pace.
Yes.
These are the 15s, low 15s, but Gary's comfortably low 14s. And Miguel is ridiculously 13 and a halves.
And regularly so as well, yeah.
That's, it's illegal, actually. I'm phoning Interpol now. And, yeah, so, but there you go. I mean,
We'll have to inspect his license because I think it's a pilot's license.
yes. Well, Rocket Corps.
Rocket Corps. That's funny. Right.
So what we want now, right? Look here. I'm looking at Siddons.
You're
Seventh
right.
place.
Yeah.
Yay! Come on.
Ours is a pit stop at the minute. How long does a pit stop take? 30 seconds.
It must feel good to be in seventh place for Fee.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
definitely.
Well inside the top 10. I feel, you know, like you say, you'll be wringing the tank dry.
Oh yeah.
Now, where's JB? Because
JB is back here. He had a bit of trouble at the start, if you remember.
Yes.
I need to go and find that, actually. I just heard a car crashing, but there's nothing come up on my screen. I think it's just an iRacing thing.
is that Tony's fastest lap, that green lap there? Tony, 2:15.
Tony. That is his fastest lap of the race. So this is the start of it all. Oh, that's a net code.
Oh.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, that was a net code contact, or solid air, as we call it here in BSTV. We coined it first.
Good safe rejoin.
It was actually, and then Michael. Where's Michael on this little bit? So has he come a cropper already? He's come a cropper once, hasn't he? In this?
Look at that. So, oh, crikey, there's contact all over.
Oh, there's JB.
Oh, there's JB going.
Yeah, he did hit the wall. I didn't realise.
No, I hadn't. I thought he didn't make a contact. But,
No. And then this rabble just carried on.
oh, it was frenetic at the start, wasn't it?
It was
Goodness
bonkers. Absolute bonkers.
me. Nobody was holding back at all.
Jamie had to get out of Freddie's toe there because he was nearly driving into the boot of the car in front. So that's what happened at the start. Just lots of lap one antics.
Lots of adrenaline, I would say.
Yes.
A lot of adrenaline there. You could feel it vibrating off the cars. Goodness me. Fantastic.
Yeah, so last race of the season, and Miguel Freitas is your race leader. 3.4 seconds is his lead over this man, Gary Craig. Super rapid, and will have got some points for leading laps. Then Freddie Van Eekhoven in third place. That is just stunning. If he can bring this home in third.
If you can bring it home in third, that would be a heck of a drive, wouldn't it?
Driver of the meeting territory, that.
Wow.
Then there's solar powered Sam.
Yes, and you know, Tony's doing a fantastic drive, but
Yeah, Tony.
I want Rob. I mean, Rob's running sixth, and his lap times he can't keep up with.
Not at the minute, no. He did
he's
such a good job in the first.
Yeah, he's only a tenth or two, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tenth or two, but he's got 4 seconds, and I think it's going out a little bit. But yeah, JB, he's got a big lead over JB, so he's not under pressure from behind.
Right. Lee Bowden's asking
James had a pit stop.
Yeah. Lee's asking how long the pit stops take. Right. So, it's the last race of the season. Who's going to be listening from the race to this? So I don't think we're in danger of giving the game away to anybody. Fastest pit stop at the minute from the lead cars is 28 seconds. Not going to tell you who that is. Slowest of the lead cars at the minute is... Who is that? All right. 34 seconds. And guess what?
Ooh.
Miguel is in. And Gary is following him in. Does that mean that Freddie's got to pit? Yeah, I think they're at the end of the fuel. So now we shall see how Solar Sam gets on with his ultra fuel save. Looks like Sam has upped the pace
He's
again.
doing 16, so
Oh, yeah.
let's see. Let's see.
Maybe he's realised he can't do it.
Yeah, it's going down. So yeah, he's got his.
Doing a bit of wall drafting.
Oh, he's doing a wall drafting. He's still eking out what he can. No,
Yeah.
he's still 16. So
Those other two cars of Miguel and Gary are ahead of him and out of the pits.
didn't work then. If that's what he was trying.
If that, yeah, I mean, I'm as confused as the next person. Gary Craig, the massive winner in the pit stop round. Look how near he is now. 1.3 seconds.
But we know that Miguel doesn't care about pit stops.
No, not at all, no.
And Gary's brilliant at them.
And Lee Bowden says certainly worth a try. Yet really, it is definitely anything's worth a try, to be honest. If it works, you're a hero. If not, you look a little bit silly, but you can wash those blushes away. Gary Craig very much giving Miguel a fight. How much better? Because Gary is so good in the pits. His pit stop was 3 seconds faster over the course of the whole pit road than Miguel. So Miguel's got some lessons to learn from Gary Craig.
Yes, I do. I really don't think he cares very much about his pit stop times because he just makes it while going blisteringly quick on the track.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks his pace will actually make up for any inadequacies in the pit stop department.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect he's correct.
That's Tony Walker overtaking JB, I think. It was.
We don't want. Can you imagine if Miguel got as good as Gary was at pit stop? I mean,
Well, it's just a future that I don't want to imagine.
exactly.
Oh, right, JB went a bit wide, got a bit of gravel.
Whoa, crikey!
Yeah, wasn't much. It was innocuous.
No, just enough to slow you down though, and you
Yeah.
know, that's all it takes.
Nice overtake, really, by Tony Walker. Kept it clean, and that's sometimes how you get your best points.
Yeah, Tony's been driving well. I'm enjoying seeing him develop as a driver. He's got a lot to live up to with his, when Stephen Walker's your brother, and
Yeah.
you're coming into a series like this. That's a lot. That's a lot to take on.
It is. It depends where you are in your learning curve, though, doesn't it? He's a great person to learn from, isn't he, Stephen Walker?
Yes, but I mean, it's kind of a legend. It's a bit of a legend to live up to, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Rather than Page, you're coming into a league where, multiple past champion, bro's a multiple past champion. You don't want to let them hand me down, do you?
No. Yeah, and again, going back to the Lee Bowden situation, he's a super fast racer. He'd have been up here with the top 5 tonight, I'm sure. It'd be great to have him back, but sitting it out and resting it out and waiting for it to be right for you is the right thing to do with sim racing. And is this Tony making a mistake? Because JB has just passed him again, is it? Is it battle of the mistakes? It is.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was at the beginning of the snake.
Yeah, again, another tiny thing, and it costs you a place.
Just little mistakes. This track does punish you quite heavily. So we are 36 minutes into a 40-minute race already. It's been that action-packed.
What?
I'm not joking. Unreal, isn't it? 12 cars on a track this big, and we've had nothing but action from the start. Has Sam Blees been in for any motion lotion? No, he hasn't, is the answer to David Ayres' question. I've not heard it called motion lotion for about 4 years. I can't remember who used to say that. It might have been you, David Ayres.
It would have been in the Audi.
Yeah. Miguel Freitas, fastest lap of this race again.
That's a bit stunning, a 2:13.2.
Yeah. Sam Blees doesn't want to be overtaken by Freddie. He's bolted it to the right-hand side of the track there. And round the outside goes Freddie.
That's my team.
Solar Sam is off the gas for about 3/4 of a mile. And may succumb to this man by the end of the race if that carries on, Jamie Wilson, who's romping it in a 5th place position right now in that wonderful Japanese livery.
Yes, and he's Sam's only got 8 seconds on him.
And,
That sounds like quite a lot, but the pace difference is. If Sam, oh no, Sam's doing 15s now. He's giving up on the 16s business. He's doing the same laps as Freddie now.
Yeah, a little call out to a Chris Noble on the Japanese livery there. So I'm sure that means something important and meaningful to a lot of people. So glad we caught that one. Oh, and we'll need to play this because Freddie van Eekhoven will be replaying this for about 6 weeks. We'll do it on Zoom camera, shall we? Let's watch it again. Round the outside of Sam Blees. Not many people who can say that.
That's fantastic driving.
Nicely done.
That's not easy there. You know,
even if he is fuel
he
saving,
made
that's
it
still
look
difficult.
easy. You know, his line was immaculate, but that's this. You're going in there fast. It's tricky judging your braking point and carrying your pace through like that, and handling the car so beautifully.
Yeah.
That takes skill.
Oh, it definitely does. Arox just cursed Freddie because he said he's so close to his first podium.
Two 14.4s, great lap times from Freddie. That's his best lap.
It is. And this is yet another overtake between these two. Oh, hang on. Something's happened to... I can't believe it.
Oh.
I can't believe it. I'll show you in a minute what I can't believe.
What happened to JB then?
Not really, that's sure. But Tony
Didn't
Walker
get
definitely...
slowed down, did
He
he?
may have done, actually. That's probably the right assessment. But yes, here we go again, because Freddie did something wrong, and now he's having to fight for it again with Sam Blees. Oh! And he had to go to the grass, and Sam... Sam letting him go? I think Sam was just letting him go because he scared the bejesus out of him, getting his line wrong going into Degna 1. But I think the race is back on again for these two.
Right, except it's 40 minutes and 8 seconds.
Oh,
for a
crikey.
40-minute race.
Right, better go and find the leader then, yeah? That crept up on me. So, last lap, folks, just in case you're tuning in, just like I am for the first time, apparently. Where is Freddie? We're going to have to keep one eye open on these guys. Because I don't think it's over.
Well,
Sam Blees is
Sam's
about to
going to have
make...
to go down here, isn't he? He's going to have a go.
He's about to make an enemy out of every Hydra Race Racing Forces car in the world. But if he tries something... and there we go, Miguel Freitas. Proves it's not just a rumour. Yeah.
Wow.
Gary Craig over the line in second as Miguel decides he doesn't need those incident points. What's going on here? Oh my. Oh, and Freddie's managed to defend it. Gets himself a podium.
Sam's putting the frighteners on him. He would have been smiling doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
I was just trying to see
what
if
a
he
race!
had any fuel left. Because...
You told me we were short numbers.
I know. If we'd had
There was
any
100
more...
of them out there, weren't there?
Yeah.
Felt like it. Goodness me.
And that looks to me like Sam Blease has got himself a 4th place without pitting the car. Unreal.
Well, if anybody can do it and is daft enough.
Yeah.
Really
Absolutely daft enough. Yeah.
Well, where's my whiskey? I've got to have a slurp
I
to
would
that.
do it.
Congratulations,
Need something.
chap.
Yeah, very,
What
very
a
good
race
racing.
that was.
Yeah. Still going here.
We've
JB.
enjoying fantastic skill tonight again.
Definitely.
And, it was a short grid, but by gum, I don't think nobody could have raced harder than this lot tonight. And
No way.
didn't we have a treat? It's a very fitting finale.
Yep. Very, very fitting. And Fiona Siddons over the line in a not last position. And on lead lap and around Suzuka, that's impressive because there's so many places you can get murdered.
Here comes Matt. Come on, bring it home, boy.
Yeah. Not far from it now. Yeah,
Proud in his
car was-
good, decent colours. I love the orange and black.
Yeah.
No, just because I've got an orange black work guard car, it's got nothing to do with it.
So over the line for Matt Flannery to end the season. Well done, Matt.
Well, I don't think Suzuka let us down.
Certainly not. I'm knackered.
Well, you had plenty to do, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's nip through these standings for the final race of this, the season 13 of the TCR
Oh,
Challenge
they
Cup.
obliged you straight away as well. Goodness me.
Yeah. Amazing. Miguel Freitas was, again, your race winner for the last round here at Suzuka International for season 13 of the TCR Challenge Cup on BSTV. Gary Craig got a 2nd place there in great fashion. Took it to Miguel, absolutely, for BSTV. Freddie Van Eekhoven got himself a podium in the end, and well deserved for Hydra Race Racing Forces. I can't believe none of the Racing Forces fans on the chat have said anything about that yet. 4th was Sam Blease for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing White in his solar-powered car, Solar Sam. Jamie Wilson finished 5th for Team Chimera. 6th was Rob Sharp for Fiercely Forward. Tony Walker finished 7th. JB Dijou was 8th for BSTV Esports Blue. Fiona Siddons was 9th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Matt Flannery was 10th for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Jamie Jeffrey was classified 11th, 9 laps down, after that massive crash at 130R for CCR. And Michael Seal, who we've already heard from on the chat, 12th tonight. I think he had a damaged car, I'm not sure, because his car speared off the road in the most bizarre fashion. 10 laps down and classified 12th. Wow. How do you describe any of that then, Alan? That was just hectic, frantic, and all the ick words I can think of.
I mean, it was great having that reverse grid, wasn't it? It just gave us a real plum of a race, I think, because it just worked out with just a series of bold overtaking moves, bold defending, close running, tight side-by-side racing. Yeah, feast. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where's
I
my
think
mint
the
sauce?
same. I know.
Honestly. Yeah, that was fantastic.
I feel like I need a nap. Right, are we at quarter speed? I think we are. All right, okay, let's make sure I've got some things ticked here. I don't know, Freddie's done really well for me tonight. We've got some difficult decisions, you know. I need to go and find some other stuff. Where was that? There. Right, so let's see who's lining up for us in the booth. Oh, crikey, everybody. I didn't see that coming. Right. So first in the booth, and to celebrate on multiple fronts. If I can find him on the track, it'll help the stream. There we go. It's Big Miguel Freitas, everybody, our new champion of BSTV's TCR Challenge Cup. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, fantastic.
Stunning. And wow, you were taken to task in the second race, but you got a flag to flag victory in the first. We'll talk about the races first. Suzuka works well for you then, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I was faster than I expected compared to the others. But yeah, I think it was a mix between good preparation and the car just worked well on these corners, the Honda. So I guess it made my life a little bit easier.
Yeah, and they kept you honest in the first race. I don't know how much you were pushing, but they didn't let you go too far too fast until a certain point when I think that either their tyres went or you decided, you know what, I need a bit more of a comfort blanket, and you got yourself about 5 or 6 seconds of a gap at one point. Very impressive to watch. Yeah, again, I think I say that every week, but I'll say it until it's not true, because it is. You're a fantastic talent to watch racing. You get through fields very safely, and race one demonstrated that out front with a nice clear track and no massive distractions, you can put up times of 2:13.00 something. I think it was in the end.
I don't think it was quite that fast, but yeah, I guess everyone was struggling with the tires. I had a very different setup from usual, so I don't know if people tried to keep the same setup philosophy for this race, but yeah, I think the front tires just went on everyone, and mine kept working.
Right.
I
Okay.
think that was the reason I kept my distance.
Right. And in race two, you started from the back. We were saying that this is the first time this season you've started from the back. I know it was only a 12-car grid, but it certainly gave us plenty to talk about and an immense amount of action. We've just seen it on the little slow-mo replay there. Your patience at the start of that race was immense. You held back. You let them all do their own crashing. You didn't want any part of it. You were watching other drivers like Gary Craig motoring through the field. You weren't bothered. You just raced your own race and calmly started picking people off. At any point, were you concerned about Solar Sam and his no-stop strategy?
To be completely honest, I just after the race it was the only time I noticed that he didn't stop. So I really had no idea. But
Right.
yeah, I guess since the beginning of the race, I knew I had the pace on my side, so I was just waiting for everyone to stop fighting to then starting overtake. But yeah, I think I only made 2 real passes. All of the rest was people getting involved in small contacts and getting out of the way. So yeah, it ended up being more easier than I expected to get to the front. And yeah, and then I had to work for 2 overtakes, and then yeah, I had the pace like on the first race, and it was just keeping it on the track and bringing it home.
Very impressive. It's so much easier when you've not got your own teammate wiping you out each race, isn't it? So, and tell us about your season. Have you enjoyed racing with BSTV? Will you join us again to defend your title? And will you choose a better teammate than Wobbly?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this season. It was amazing. A little bit sad that a lot of people had to miss some of the races, which yeah, in the first part of the season it was way more competitive at the front than on the second part. But yeah, it's summer. People go on holidays, and it happens.
And some of them
And
get trapped on holiday because our air traffic control's down in the UK.
yeah,
Nobody can get home.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm planning to join again next season. I know there will be some clashes with other competitions that I have aligned so far, so probably won't be the full season, but
No,
at
that's
least
okay.
the races I can, I will do it.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it was
Uh,
an amazing season.
Yeah, and you've got a decision to make at some point next week. You get a driver's choice for track for the next season. We will drop one of the scheduled races from the officials, and you will get to choose which track it is that we race at for that week. We do a little thing in the week 13. Obviously, I think there's some sort of update coming, isn't there, for iRacing?
There's
Yeah,
always an update.
Well, there's always an update. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I think there's a more poignant one. But I don't know what the details of it at the minute. Somebody will tell me by the end of the night. But yeah, anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and find the biggest bottle of simulated champagne you can find, and go and get yourself well and truly hammered and celebrate your championship victory.
yeah, the same suspect as every week. My team, the TCR squad, Wobbly for all the setup work that he's been putting on and for crashing me as well.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, everyone that has been racing, you guys, the organizers, everyone. Yeah, it's been really nice. I joined quite late to the grid, and it was a really good season.
It's been absolutely spectacular having you in the league. So many people will learn so much from you just from you being here, and we so much appreciate you being part of it. Alan, any words for Miguel before we let him go?
Well, no, not really, because this man lets his driving do his talking for him, and hasn't it been a fantastic season? We've just I've relished watching Miguel race. Really, it's just been a masterclass of fantastic, peerless pace and peerless racecraft and skill. And if you like me and you love iRacing, you can't help but be impressed and absolutely fall in love with that kind of skill. And yeah, it's been a fantastic watch, Miguel, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for that words.
Well, it's on to next season for all of us, actually, and on to defend his championship next season. Miguel Freitas, everybody.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Right then, next into the booth. And what I suspect is probably second in the championship after all is said and done. Solar-powered Sam. Sam Blees, everybody. Welcome to the booth.
Evening, guys.
Evening.
Evening, Sam.
I haven't had my abacus out yet, but given that you finished ahead of Gary in the first race and behind him in the second race by equally as many positions, I think it all balances out by the end of it, and you will be second place. Your championship has been ruthlessly stripped from your grasp. Is the most dramatic way I can describe it for just for the giggles of it, really. By Miguel. What did you say?
I said the most accurate.
The most accurate, yeah. I mean, you're not going to be embarrassed to give it up to someone like Miguel, are you? I mean, he's just a force to be reckoned with, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been class all season, and he really deserves it. He's been, if not the fastest, then the second fastest on the track at every race. That car's really dialed in. He's not made any mistakes. He's not missed anything. So fair play to him. He's driven brilliantly. He's fully deserved that, and can't say fairer than that. He's done what he needed to do, and he's come in and won it on debut. So well done to him.
Yeah, and you had a few rough races right at the very start of the season, didn't you? There was a few crashes that you got involved in, not to do with you. You just got caught up in other people's business, and I think that set you on the back foot in terms of the points system. Stephen joined you after a couple of race weeks in, and you mounted a very, very strong challenge for the championship in the teams. But again, I think Impulse had that sewn up before you even got behind the wheel tonight. But having Stephen as your teammate must have been a very tasty prospect for a team championship, no?
Yeah, absolutely. We've raced with Stephen for ages, and he's helped us out in IVRA and other bits and pieces, and he's raced with us for WTCS. So it just made sense when he wanted to pop in. I had a space for a teammate, and it's always good racing with him, and he's a cracking driver as well. So yeah, I mean, we missed too many races, but actually, even if we turned up to everything, the pace of the impulse cars was so good that I don't think, apart from a cut like Not Kill, and in fact, I can only really think of Not Kill where we had a clear pace advantage.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, we were either even or a tenth or two off the Hondas, and I'm not saying that's a car thing. Some of it will be. Some of it at certain tracks will be cars. Some of it will be setup. Some of it will be drivers. But those two, Wobbly and Miguel, were class this season, and it was very, very difficult to touch them. Even when Spencer was here in the Honda, a couple of rounds he was with them, a couple of rounds he was a bit off them, a couple of rounds he was back with me and Wook. So they've stepped it up, I think, a bit beyond what we've seen before, and that's excellent. That's great. Keeps us all motivated. And try again next time.
I think you're right, mate. I think they've just been almost unbeatable. But I tell you what, the great racing is because you've been out there racing them.
Oh yeah, it's been good fun.
What a season we've had, mate. You've just turned in fantastic racing, and it's been a joy to watch. And they're great drivers, and it's been a pleasure to watch them. But you've given them a hard time and raced them hard, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's been good stuff, and it's it's been nice to try a couple of slightly eccentric strategies, shall we say, and try something different, see if we can make it work. So it's been good fun, and like you say, the standard is excellent, as it always is with us with these races. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege to race with these guys, and it's always exciting to get behind the wheel and see what we can actually do. So I can't fault anyone. It's been a great season. It's been good racing up and down. It's been just great fun, and just a little shame I was missing that last 1 or 2% to get me right on them.
Next season.
Well, that's what next season's for.
We'll see.
At what point in the second race did you decide, do you know what, I'm going to no-stop this?
2 minutes before the start. Gary told me he thought it was only 6 litres. I was like, I could save 6 litres. And then I completely and utterly ruined the start because I didn't have any revs on. And then I was trying to put the clutch in, and instead of pressing my button clutch, I pressed my button brake, heading up to 130R. So I lost like 5 seconds there because I was just full on the 100% brake for a few seconds. Go, why am I slowing down? Oh, Jesus. And then a few times I went for the clutch and I pressed the pit limiter. So it wasn't cleanly executed, I think it's fair to say. If I had practiced a little bit more and driven it sensibly, I wouldn't have won, but I would have got third. I think I would have been maybe 10 seconds back from Miguel with the no stop.
Right.
And probably if I had just driven flat out and stopped, probably a similar distance, to be honest. His pace in the middle and the end of that race was unbelievable. So I thought it was worth trying something different. I completely boosted it up. And it's very easy to lose concentration when you're doing that, when you're driving to a number rather than driving hard.
We were saying that, yeah.
So I had a scruffy race.
It's out of your usual routine, isn't it? So it's...
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do when you're not engaging the engine? How fast are you actually going? Can you even tell? It's one of those sort of things. And you did it brilliantly, and nobody else has done it. That's going to go down in history.
I think I showed you why everyone else has done it, though.
So it doesn't work. But,
Fourth place, Sam.
Right.
Well, yeah. Different track.
And that against, look who was in front of you. There's no slouches there. I think a lot of races you would have won.
Definitely.
Well, I think if there was any safety car, it would have been easy, this one. And I think on some tracks, that might be plausible next time. But the thing that counted against me here is it's a short pit lane. It's a fast pit lane. So actually, even if I did it perfectly, I was only saving maybe 20 seconds by not stopping. And that over, I don't know, how many laps did we do? Would have been about 18.
18 it was, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd had to be within a second of Miguel every lap and save 20% of my fuel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was just
That's
a
a big
point. It was I thought, I could save 6 litres or whatever. Turned out it was 9 litres, so Gary gave me a little bit of a dodgy info there. But even if I'd saved it, because the pit lane's so short on this track, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have worked. But yeah, I've proved I can get there with the right track. So maybe it's more open in the future. I'm sure I'll try it again.
It'd be wrong of you not to be honest. But yeah, great season, fantastic entertainment. We saw a few Code Brown moments. There's another one on the screen at the minute as Rob Sharp came back onto the track. You were cool and calculated just about there, and you'd already avoided an out of shape Tony before that point on the race. Anyway,
it was quite a bit of dodging going on.
It was, and you did it very well. I can't even see where the solar panels are on that car, but I gather there must be some. It's been brilliant watching you race this season, as it always is. And there's next season that you can try and take the championship back. Hopefully, you are racing it. We'll see what geodesic hydro race geodesic racing, white or otherwise, brings to us next season. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go?
For tonight, well done to Freddie. It was a good little race for the last lap or so there, where I was trying to get to the end and battle him, and yeah, cracking podiums in his debut season. So that's great to see. Just in general, everybody's made it a really good season and come out tonight and all the other races to make it excellent entertainment and good fun for us in the cars as well. And above all, you guys, obviously, because we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be able to do it if you weren't putting on a show and doing the organisation for us. So yeah, cheers for that, and I look forward to racing again.
Very much our pleasure, isn't it, Alan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of my joys in life, I've got to tell you.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will look forward to seeing you all liveried up for season 14 in a fortnight's time, and I'll see you to talk through the stuff for next season next week at some point, Sam. Sam, please, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, so have we got Rob Sharp?
Yeah,
we do.
Up there.
Yeah, couldn't see him at first, but he's right at the top of the pile. I don't know how I missed him. Good evening to Rob Sharp.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, we are very well, aren't we,
we're
Alan?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Thank you very much.
We're all
Good
sourced
stuff.
up. Yeah. So let's talk about this. Was that your first podium in
It was
our
my
leagues?
first. It was
Good.
indeed. Happy about that.
Firstly forward, get themselves a podium. It was very calm and very calculated, and what a great qualifying.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't know where I pulled that out from because practice yesterday and Monday was just diabolical, and I was only in the 2:14s for pace, and then don't know what it was earlier on in the practice session. Hit a 2:13, and then again in qualifying, winner. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you've peaked at towards the end of the season for this league. If you take my point, you've been very competitive all season, but the last 3 race weeks, you've been right up there, and this one's the pinnacle of it all, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I came in, didn't I, to the league halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to go for next season now. Like, yeah, I found my feet, know who I'm racing in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know who my competition is. But I mean, to come here to beat someone like Gary is just insane. Like,
Yeah.
normally I'm well off his pace, but I don't know. The Suzuka clicked, and I absolutely hate Suzuka. So
Really?
honestly, I'm over the moon, chaps. I really am. It just shocked me.
Well, we're over the moon to have watched that because you were in the thick of the action in both races. You maintained your position in the first race really well under some duress. To be fair, Gary wasn't holding back, but wasn't able to do anything about you. And then in the second race, it was a bit of dodgems at the start. There was all sorts to avoid. You got caught up in the middle of it. We saw you flying backwards towards the track at one point, and a few Code Brown moments for some other drivers, but still managed to bring it home sixth and up 4 places from where the car was gridded after the reverse of the previous race. So you can only celebrate that sort of thing. That's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, super happy with the second race. There was a few incidents in there that were a bit sketchy, but that's touring car racing, as they say.
Yeah.
But managed to claw it back. I mean, I had a bit of wheel damage, so I was basically limping around after because I think there was that one in the chicane with Tony. Tony had to pull up, which weren't Tony's fault. You know what I mean? I think there was a car parked in the chicane. I wasn't sure because I think it disappeared by the time I got there. Tony pulled up, and then I pulled up, and it was like, ugh. And then I was like, oh no, I've got steering damage, straight line damage. But luckily, it wasn't too bad that I could carry on. And I just pitted the lap before, so I couldn't take my fast repair. So I was like, oh no, this is just my luck. But luckily, I managed to just keep on top of it and bring the car home. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, and so you should be, because that's a great set of results from tonight. Great to hear that you're going to join us for next season as well, which will start in 2 weeks' time for the viewers at home. We've got some decision making to do, and we've got to wait for iRacing to release the schedule officially so that we can align with it. But yeah, maybe you can find some fiercely forward friends to bring with you. And
I am, yeah.
Oh, right, excellent.
Hopefully my teammate will come. He's been hiding during the summer because he lives in Italy, yeah, and it's been 40 degrees. So
I know,
he's been melting, Pete. He's been melting. So I've let him off for this season, but I said to him next season you got to come join.
Cool.
So hopefully there'll be two.
Sounds good.
Sounds very good, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The more the merrier. And let's hope you can carry forward the momentum of the pace that you've got. Or demonstrating, because you were the fastest Elantra for a fair amount of distance in that first race. I think Jamie Jeffrey was the next one back, and he was 7 seconds behind you.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah, you're setting great pace in a car that I was saying in the middle of the race has struggled this season. You're absolutely bucking the trend of making me wrong. So,
well, you're 2:13. That's cracking lap time, you know.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Surprising myself. Surprising myself.
But honestly, Rob, you've done some great drives. Since you arrived in the season, man, it's been a pleasure. You landed on your feet and got stuck in straight away, and you've been a great addition to the league. It's been a delight watching you, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Too right. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your podium finish tonight?
To you guys for putting on a great show as always and a great broadcast, and for running everything. To all the boys and girls as well that are racing against, and also to my team for giving me the support as usual. So thank you very much, everybody.
Very well said, and we will look forward with relish to watching you race again next season in a fortnight's time. Rob Sharp, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, well done, Rob.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Right then, who's next? Who's next? Why am I asking that question? We know who's next. It's Gary Craig.
Good evening.
Good evening. Third place in the championship. I brought Rob Sharp in just before he disappeared, just in case he was going to. But yes, third in the championship. Not quite last season. You got second, didn't you, last season?
I did.
But that was before those pesky Impulse boys turned up.
I mean, to be fair, all the fast guys who were here last season, the only new one is Miguel.
Yeah.
It's been a very fast crowd, and if Wobbly and Spencer didn't decide to take 3 weeks off, I would definitely not have been third. So I'll take what I can get.
I saw some of the chat in Discord, and I know you have liked this track in the past. We've raced it in GTE, GT3, TCRs. Were you struggling with the grip earlier this afternoon, is what I read, or am I making that
Yeah, understeer is horrendous around here in these cars this week. I added more camber in the first race, and I think the tyres started to puke because I started to lose lap time towards the end. So I went back to the set that I was using in the second race, and although it's a bit slower at the start, it lasted a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just lacking a bit of time. I was lacking quite a lot of time to Miguel, and Sam was a bit faster on average, and Rob was faster in that second race. First race he had a really good pace.
Yeah, and next season's shaping up to be nice and competitive. There's quite a few people saying they're going to stay with it. Only a couple saying they can't. Or rather, don't want to. What about yourself? Are you going to race this one again?
No, I think I'm having a season off because I'm getting my bathroom ripped out. So I'm going to have at least 2 weeks where I can't take a shower. So sim racing 3 nights a week without a shower might be a bit too much for everyone I work with. Unfortunately.
Fair enough.
And I am getting a bit of sim racing fatigue at the minute. I think I need a break. So I'm going to definitely have some time off. Maybe after the bathroom sort, I might join in the second half of the season or something. But at the minute, the plan is to have a break from sim racing.
No,
You're sensible lad, Gary. If you think you need a break, that's the time to take a break, matey.
absolutely. When the fun stops,
And
stop.
I can give it up anytime I want. I can give it up anytime I want.
I don't think you can, but
Hang on.
you can take a little hiatus.
Let me just bolt another £300 cup holder to my rig.
Yeah.
just one more.
Just one more ferocious spend of money on sim racing. Like we haven't all spent a ferocious amount of money already. But no, great watching you race again this season. You've proven that you are up there with the very fastest. You led tonight's race for quite a while. You got through the field much faster than the rest of them. Yes, there was a lot of people bounding for the scenery in front of you, but even then you've got to avoid them.
I did have a good start to that second race.
Yeah, you launched really well.
I thought I would go two Kentucky girls going around the outside of turn one, and I think I picked up like 3 or 4 places from it and got into third quite quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have that contact with Tony as well. It was a bit of net code and a bit of, I think he turned in a little earlier than I was expecting, and the two combined just kind of put him off there, which was unfortunate. But I didn't feel that I was at fault for that, so I didn't kind of hold up. I thought it was a bit of a racing thing, so sorry if it was my fault, but it's what can I say? It's unfortunate.
Ernie had a great night tonight. He drove well.
He did.
He's been going well. So I'm sure he won't be bothered.
He's showing great pace.
Well, hopefully.
I think you've driven well as well, Gary. To be honest, I think you've driven outstanding.
Well, it was
good. I know it's not second, but look at the way that Miguel's come into the league. You know, I think you can be well pleased with yourself. And,
I mean, I am because I think more so than any other season, I've been closer to the front on pace. The trouble is there are 5 very, very, very fast guys that have been getting closer to, but they're always a bit faster. But I think I'm closer than I've ever been now.
You are closer than you've ever been. There's no doubt about it. You've been cutting that deficit down for the last 2 seasons, and it's been great to watch. And I've been appreciating it and enjoying it.
So now's the time to have a season off and lose all those gains. Woohoo!
Absolutely, and it's great.
Well, you got a new bathroom, so at least
yeah.
Do it all again.
It's good to see how much you've learnt from me as well. So you know,
I didn't.
Don't say that I'm drinking whiskey.
Were you streaming on the new PC tonight?
No.
Ah, okay.
No, not yet.
I was gonna...
It's not mature enough yet.
Look forward to yet. Oh crikey, we're looking forward to that then.
I know,
I've never known somebody spend 3 weeks doing a task that takes 3 hours.
It's
built.
Perfection. It's built. It's got Windows 11 on it. It's got a couple of other things on it now. I've synchronized my Google account and everything. I just need to put everything else on it. But you know me, I can take forever doing anything.
Right, you've just bought a brand new PC and it's already going to be out of date by the time you start using it.
Probably. But let's celebrate what is here to celebrate. 3rd place in the championship against great competition and proving that you're up there with the fastest of them. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously, as ever, it's the end of another great season. So thank you to you and everyone else who helps put it on, put the broadcast on. Thanks, Alan, for turning up every week and making the broadcast happen as well. It's appreciated because it is a great league, and you know everyone that races in it is fun to race against as well. Everyone's a good community. So just thanks to everyone else who participates and gets into the spirit of the way that we do things around here, I guess. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah.
And we'll hope to see you back next season at some point. If not, then hopefully the season after. We'll let you go and bask in whatever huge bath you've probably organised for yourself with multiple jets or something. I don't know.
Gold taps.
Gold taps. Good idea.
I'm removing the bath entirely. I've had one sat there in the bathroom for 12 years and I've never once sat in it.
No, that is true of baths these days, isn't it? Yeah.
So what's the point?
Oh, sadly unfulfilled bath.
I know.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What are you going to call the room if there's no bath in it? It's just going to the room.
It's a wet room, Pete.
The
Right.
bath in our house is 70 years old, Pete. It's the one I used to go in when I was a baby,
Right.
literally a baby in arms.
Crazy.
It's still the same
Absolutely
bath.
crazy.
It's huge. I can swim in it, honestly.
That's class. But yes, great to see you racing tonight, and hope to see you again racing in this league at some point in the future when it's right for you. Gary Craig, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Gary.
Right, next up is going to be, who is it going to be? It's going to be, yep. We've got to get him in
Freddie.
next. It's got to be Freddie. It's fast flying Freddie van Eekhoven. Let me find you on the track so that people know what you
Hello,
look like.
good evening.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Freddie.
So let's talk about race 1 first. You did the most miraculous avoiding of killing people I've ever seen in my life at the Casino Triangle, where you threaded the needle quite literally, hit nobody and nothing, and then carried on after a slowdown. Amazing avoidance tactics. I mean, you should get driver of the meeting just for that.
Just totally calculated. No.
Called it. Yeah. Oh,
No,
dear.
at the moment I hit that killer curb, I just had to keep it pinned to try and save it, and then I hit the grass on the other side. And then I realized, there are 2 cars in front of me, so I have to pick a side. And I went for the right, hoping that Jamie would have been far enough ahead. And that was as close as it can get. I don't think you can put a cigarette paper in between those 2 bumpers there.
I was going to say exactly that. There wasn't room for a Rizzler paper between you and Jamie Wilson. I expect he knew nothing about it because you would have flashed through his mirrors so fast. He wouldn't have even known you were there. But you have finished, where have you finished? 6th place in race 1 and... Dun, 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 dun. In fact, just a minute. I've got something for this.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Wait, everybody. This should have been more seamless. Where is it? 3rd place.
Oh,
nice.
It's a podium. A podium for Fast Freddy. Tell us how you managed to make that one work.
I think
That was Alan with a duck.
I think some luck, obviously, not only because of lap 1, but also like the drivers I wasn't in battle with suddenly disappeared after the pit stop, so I don't know what happened there.
No, right.
So got good strategy, and then just clocked my laps. Didn't have much traffic around me besides lap 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that was some luck.
No, you always need a bit of it, and Stephen Walker's usually got a lot of it, even though he says everything's lucky, even though it can't be. But you've done really well tonight on a number of different fronts. I think you're right up there for my driver of the meeting candidate. You've always got your guys following you on the chat, especially Alex Savoy-Ledo, who's too lazy to race tonight. Has everything calmed down heat-wise where you are?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's all fine. I was after lap 1 there with the whole incident thing. I was actually glad I got a slow down. I needed that.
But it was exciting. It was very exciting viewing Freddie.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I just closed my eyes and didn't hear a crunch, so I was like, okay, I can open them again.
So, what a fantastic season you've had, though. You and Demis have done extremely well. Are you the furthest forward? You are. I think you'll end up in 10th place in the championship overall, which in your first season is brilliant. You're the only 2 now driving the Audi. Stefan has not rejoined since about halfway through the season. He's obviously got other commitments. He's usually in the summers driving endless laps of Nürburgring in real life. So,
okay, that sounds good.
It does sound good. Or Torture, depending on whether you like the Green Hell or not. I know Alan does. It's one of his favourite tracks.
It is.
It is. But yeah, brilliant stuff. Where did you guys end up finishing in the championship standings? Team standings. Where are you? Hydro Race Racing Forces. You will end up in 4th place by my maths. So well
fantastic.
done.
Nice. Yeah.
So that to build on. Hopefully, yourself and Demis and Alex, or a combination of all of that, are going to rejoin us for season 14. Do you know what you're going to be doing yet, or have you not planned that far ahead?
I haven't planned that far ahead yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have to check the calendar and what I have in real life because my life looks a lot different now. I started this season living in Belgium and now I'm living in Germany. So
Right. Okay.
yeah. But at least I was able to race the last few races still, so that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Ended up on a high, so that's nice.
Well, you're a very fast racer, and you're proving it tonight. Again, you've got yourself your first podium in this series, and you're driving one of the more challenging cars because I don't think it's in the balance of performance. It's not quite there, I don't think. But you've made it work, and you make it work on a regular basis. It's a privilege watching you race, to be honest. You and your racing colleagues at Hydro Race Racing Forces. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your podium finish tonight?
Yes, obviously you guys for organizing all this. It's always fun to race with everyone in this community. I've also done the V8s a couple of years ago.
Yep.
They were also fun. So yeah, thank you for that. And then the team, of course, Hydro Race Racing Forces. Alex, Demis is a good teammate. I took him out last week, so yeah, my apologies for that still. Maybe that's why he's not here tonight now.
Still got bruised wrists or something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I hope we can race together soon. Well, me and Demis will race together soon. We will be doing the Bathurst 1000 together.
Very
so.
good. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Very nice.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck, 'cause that's a fantastic race.
Yeah, best of luck with that. We do hope that you race with us again in very soon in the not too distant future. Either in the V8s or wherever, because it's great having you guys race with us.
Yes, they've been great on there. I mean, Dennis,
yeah.
it's been a real splash of colour and a real fantastic
fancy a NASCAR league if you guys are up for it.
Yeah, let's see. Well, let's release you back into the wild, and we'll hopefully see you racing next season. Freddie Van Eekhoven, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, Freddie. Well done.
Yeah, very well done indeed. Right, we're getting through them now. Next into the booth.
That's good because my bloody wants to say good night.
Does it really?
It's all right. He's happy. He's
all right. Okay. Oh, very good. Next into the booth, and in the traditional way of Team Chimera, in the Japanese livery for tonight, Jamie Wilson. Good evening.
Konnichiwa.
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 Hakazaimasu. I work for a Japanese company. I know words. So.
Saki.
Hi.
Yeah, that is also a Japanese word.
Yeah. It's also an English condition.
Yeah, I should have introduced you as Jamie P5 Wilson because you got 5th place twice tonight. Tell us about race 1 first. You didn't qualify brilliantly.
Putting it mildly.
Just saying. Not that I'm your biggest critic, but you were south of centre, weren't you?
Yes.
For any particular reason?
Yes, I am driving like a complete ass at the moment.
Well, honesty is a good thing to share. So, is that because of kit or self or?
No, it's self.
Right.
Yeah, just not having any time to practice or anything, and I'm just not gelling with the car much at the moment. So.
Okay. Is it going to be well? First things first on that topic. Are you going to be joining us again for season 14?
Probably. I'll do a sweep of the cars again and just sort of see which one annoys me the least.
Yeah. Well, you chose this car because it was the one that you hadn't driven, right?
I chose this one because I never want to be in the most popular car, and that was kind of split between the Veloster and the Honda.
Yeah.
I've done my time in the Honda because I was in it forever. And I've done my time in the Audi prior to that. So, although that was a long time ago now, to be fair. And also, I knew I didn't like it, but I wanted to just try and see if I could get a grip of it? The answer so far is not really, but it was worth a go.
Well, I'd argue
Oh.
that. I mean, you've been highly entertaining. You and Jamie Jeffrey yet again inseparable tonight, and giving us great entertainment throughout. I love that livery, that green. I don't know where you've got the green from, if it's inspired from somewhere, but that's just such a lush colour.
The Photoshop colour picker tool.
Excellent. In that case,
Technically correct answer.
yeah, I love it. I think that's just such a wonderful colour.
Yeah, I've done these Suzuka specials for a while now. We started doing it in the iRacing 1000 or Suzuka 10 hours, sorry, a few seasons ago in a Lamborghini, which it looked very nice on. And every time I've done it, I've sort of refined the spec map a bit, and I think I've nailed it on this one. So
yeah, that looks brilliant. And to get 2/5 in the company that you're in a car that you've not gelled with, I think it's still very impressive. Where did you finish in the championship? I haven't uploaded the points, so
you'll break your scroll wheel trying to find that.
Really? Is it 6 spins? Is it?
Yeah.
It's like when I get on the scales. You were 9th, and Lee didn't race, and Carl didn't race. You may get 7th out of it, but you are guaranteed into 8th. So I think that's a pretty good set of results, to be fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully yourself and Simon can join us for season 14 if it's right for you guys to do so. What any particularly standout moments for you this season?
Yeah, I mean, not individual moments as such, but as you say, like me and Jamie Jeffrey, just being together a lot of the time. I've had some good fights with him. There's a bunch of other people that also fit into that. I mean, I say I'm sort of annoyed with the car. That is true, but the thing for me is that I don't really care that much about that as long as I'm in the thick of some sort of action.
Yeah.
So that was true in the Honda. Like I just got the right arse with it in the end, but it was good. It was good fun having to brute force it through into certain positions and just sort of, elbows upon elbows sort of way of driving is quite fun. I like all the close quarters stuff. That's the bit that I really enjoy. So when I get frustrated is like race 1 tonight, where I just sort of ended up in no man's land driving around a car that I'm not fond of. And it's just like, please end, please count down faster. But no, those moments were fairly few and far between, to be honest, during the season. I had some good racing through the whole thing. So very grateful to you guys for putting it on, and for the other people that I was racing that whole time, for making me enjoy it in perhaps another way that other people enjoy winning. Obviously, other people enjoy trying to get as much pace out of the car as possible and beating people in qualifying and that sort of thing. I enjoy just being in proximity and getting myself into some scrapes. So I can't do that on my own by definition. So yeah, all good fun.
Yeah, no, well said. And yeah, I don't know what Simon's plans are. I know he's very invested into the V8s at the minute and doing a stand-up job with them, to be fair. I mean, good grief, he's
I mean, he's not half. I mean, we're planning on doing the Bathurst 1000 as well, we think. So I know Freddie just mentioned that. We might bump into each other, hopefully not literally. But no, Simon is a step probably more disenfranchised with the car than I am. It's just, you have to drive these TCR cars a certain way in iRacing, and that doesn't gel with us, generally speaking. I'm more tolerant to, as I say, just kind of brute forcing through that. But Simon tried that for a long time in the Honda, and just put his focus on the V8 instead. So
no, it's as I said to Gary, when the fun stops, stop. And then Gary said he's not addicted. But anyway, it's a gambling thing, I think. But yeah, hopefully we will see you next season. Have you said your shout outs?
I pretty much did in the midst of that, yeah.
Okay. In that case,
can I say
wobbly,
how much I've
not wobbly.
I've enjoyed watching Jamie this season.
Yes, I have.
And you've been right in the thick of it all season, Jamie. You had some great battling. You've had a lot of time in the camera because you're always there in the thick of it. You love it, and we love to watch you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my internal barometer of how I'm doing in these races is a reference to our good friend Bill Switzer and how many times he would say "holy mackerel" during a broadcast.
Yeah,
So
too right.
I try and achieve holy mackerel at least once per event.
So, on that note, how aware were you that Fast Freddy was flying within a gnat's testicle of the back of your car?
Yes, I described it to him earlier as I saw a blue flash in the mirror. It was like a one-frame blue flash. It was like a lightning strike. It lights up the room.
Yeah. Oh, dear. At that point, did you think I didn't realise Pete Bingham was driving? Because I've done that.
No, I was too busy inventing new expletives for that situation and asking Simon how close it was, and he said expletively close. So
yeah. Well, it made for great viewing, that's for sure. And we will, like I say, hopefully see you next season. P5, I don't know whether that makes P10 or P1, I don't really know.
P55, it felt like. But yeah, anyway.
Jamie Wilson,
P45.
everybody. Yeah.
See you later, guys. Cheers.
Good night, Jamie.
Oh, I've got to flush him now. I'm not ready for this. Hang on. There we go. I've done it. Right, okay. And then last in to the booth this evening for our weekly chat, Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening, guys.
Evening, Pete.
Good evening, Alan.
Yeah, just trying to find you on the broadcast. So, Suzuka, really big track, massively challenging, a real tyre chewer of a track, and always ruins the fronts of front-wheel drive cars, obviously. First race, you came in, you last place on the lead lap, not too far behind everybody else, to be fair. And then in the second race, have pretty much outdone yourself. 9th place, with some really key players behind you. There was a lot going on that first lap of the second race, but we'll talk about race 1 first, I think. Kept it clean, very calm and calculated drive. How much of a challenge does Suzuka pose for you?
Those S's at the start of the lap, they really are a challenge. The rest of the circuit's not too bad. It's just them first two S's.
Yeah, they're brutal, aren't they? You get slightly offline at any point, and then the next turns, you're trying to wrestle them like you're trying to wrestle an octopus. It's just, where are my hands and feet going right now? What do I need to do next? I've got my wheel turned in the opposite direction to the way that I want to be travelling, and I don't even know why. I've been there. I think everybody's been there. It's a
and you've got
massively
to carry
challenging track.
speed, haven't you? You know, you've got to
yeah.
carry speed through as well, you know, otherwise down the straight, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah, you get eaten alive by this track, you really do. Race 2, we saw you on, is that your first pole position here on a reverse grid?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I bet that was focusing, is the best way I can describe that. Focusing. You got a bit of netcode contact from, can't think who it was now, I think it might have been Jamie, going through first corner. And that pretty much put you instantly to the back of the field, didn't it?
It did, yeah. I was surprised. That is, in all the time I've driven the TCR, that's the best start I've ever had.
You got a great
really
off the line.
Yeah.
We noticed it straight away. You got a really good lift off the line. It's a fantastic start. You were so unlucky, but yeah, net code.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it was good fun going into turn 1 in the thick of things for a change instead of at the back.
Yeah, and it's a definite experience, isn't it? Shame it couldn't have lasted for a bit longer, but that contact was what did it for you. We've seen you do some really capable defending of positions throughout this season, and hopefully you can build upon those experiences. In terms of race 2, yeah, you finished 9th place, brought some good points home for your sponsors, Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield in that fantastic livery on that Elantra. We said it at the start of the season and it needs calling out again. In terms of season 14, is that something you're already entertaining, or do you not know what you're doing just yet?
Like I said last week, I am back next season, but there'll be a few weeks when hockey's on when I can't get.
Right. Yeah. Yep. absolutely. Real life occasionally needs to take priority.
But I think I took myself well out of the Alan Saper Driver Award tonight.
Oh, really?
In race 2, Matt was 55 seconds behind me, and I thought he had pitted. So I was pushing as hard as I could to try and keep the gap when I pitted.
Yeah.
And then when I pitted, he followed me in.
Right. Okay. And did you gather some incident onto that? Did you?
Yeah, I got 6.
6. Right. Okay. Well, we'll see where that puts you. You never know. That might still be your trophy. I'll let you know in the chat tomorrow once the points have all been uploaded and stuff. But yeah, hopefully you are the safety barometer with which all others measure that statistic now. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and prepare your Elantra, if that's what you're going to drive, for next season? Anybody in there that you want to thank?
Yeah, everybody who's been racing this season, everybody at Matthews Logistics and Vapors Mansfield, you guys for putting it on, and a special shout out for Alan for going to Donington with me at the weekend.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's right. Alan, anything for Fiona?
No, well, what I can say is that he's joining me in work hard next year in the MX5. So I'm delighted about that. She's going to be joining us in our squad.
Fantastic.
It's my little baby, so I'm chuffed with that. And yeah, you know, it's hard work at the back. You know, I know what it's like. But we love to drive. And we love to be out there in the car experiencing race circuits, and it gives us joy. And yeah, Fee's there, sticks in, never gives up, and always does her best. Can't ask for more.
Absolutely not. And it's been a privilege and a pleasure to watch you race with us this season, and I look forward to it even more for next season. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Pete.
And as a small tear starts to fall slowly down my cheek at the thought of season 13 coming to a close, my optimism and eager smile approaches my face. Looking forward to season 14. But before that, Alan.
Season 14.
I know, season 14. Unreal. Before that is the decision of the century. It is driver of the meeting. So, have you already got an idea?
Oh yeah, well yeah, but I mean I don't know if it'll be popular or not. I don't care really.
Okay.
You know, I think it's unassailable.
Right. Well, my vote for tonight is going to someone who, again, this might be a questionable choice, but tonight and this is going to be, I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats for a very long time.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, he got his first podium in our series tonight.
Giving it all away already.
No, because there was 2 of them that got their first
I know
podium.
there's 2.
So, my vote goes to the individual who gave us the biggest scare at the same time, because his car control in the middle of the slide was pretty good to avoid everybody else, whether you argue with me or not that he was completely out of control. I argue that he was slightly in control. So I'm going to give my point tonight to Fast Freddy van Eekhoven for his acrobatics on the track and getting his first podium. Over to you, Alan. Who's your vote going to?
Well, Freddy's well worthy, and I think you could make a case for both Jamies. You could make, you know, there's been so much good racing tonight, and people have performed like nobody's business. But if you can tell me somebody who's been a more impressive driver than Miguel Freitas, I'll give it to you.
Understood.
I don't think there's anybody more impressive than Miguel all season, but tonight, double victory, drove from right through the field, peerless overtaking, beautiful composed performance, unmatched speed, and a courteous and gentlemanly driver.
Oh, very much so.
It's been a real treat all season, and yeah, I'm very happy to give it to him.
Well,
I think he deserves it.
let's see if the buttons can tell us who won. No, it's still going off the previous rendition of the table. But what that does mean is that Freddie has moved up into joint second with Jamie Wilson on 3 points, and Miguel has got himself another little bit of imaginary silverware by winning the Driver of the Meeting award as well, because he'll finish on 4 points with your vote. And I think that that's a very worthy winner again. So, brilliant stuff. Right, what's going on in the future? Obviously, we will prepare for season 14. Hopefully, Alan will join me for broadcasting that as well. When that lands.
I could be, if you keep sending me bottles of whiskey for doing this, you're never going to get rid of me, mate.
In that case, I know what I need to do. Let's see what's going on in the world of V8 ESC. The Clio Cup season has finished. I left the trailer in at the start of the broadcast just to keep you tempted. That will return at some point in the future, but I'm not sure when. Clyde's busy planning that as we speak. I'm looking at the schedule now for V8 ESC, which is the 9th, I think, is the next race. Yeah, September 9th, so a couple of weekends away. It's Jerez on GP. That'll be in the same week as the... No, it won't. I was going to say it'll be in the same week as the start of the TCR. It'll be the week... TCRs will be in the week after that. So, yeah, it's next up is V8 ESC Jerez, 9th of September at 7 p.m. for the broadcast, 6 p.m. if you're racing. Season 13 has been a blast. It's been one of the most exciting series that we've had. I think season 12 was the most nail-biting finish because Gary could have easily won it. Sam Blees ended up winning it. And there was about 3 or 4 people who could have won it at any point in the season. But giving us an absolute clinic this season and showing us and all the racers around him exactly how it's done is Miguel Freitas, who's been a force to be reckoned with, Alan. And he'll take the number 1 car for season 14.
Yeah, well deserved. I don't think we can argue with it. I mean, there aren't any better drivers than Miguel. We're lucky to have people who are damn near as good.
Yes.
And can give him a good race. And the man wants a good race. It's when you're as good as he is, it's not that easy to get one.
No, that's true. I mean, I'm sure he'd be very bored if Gary wasn't pestering him, and Sam Blees and Spencer, and
exactly.
You know, there's a whole bunch of guys in this league who have got the pace for Miguel. Miguel's just got unbelievable consistency over the course of the races. What a fantastic prospect season 14 will be. Right, time to bring this season to a close, Alan. Thank you all for watching. You make it possible for us to keep going with the broadcast, because if nobody watches, there's no point in us doing it. Thanks to all the racers who've participated this season, and we hope to see them and more next season. Obviously, there's a few bow outs because you can't keep going and doing it all the time. You become jaded with it. You have to have a rest. So certain people are choosing to do that, and rightly so. Thanks to you, Alan, for joining me all season again. Hope you enjoy your whiskey when it turns up tomorrow. And it's been well deserved. And I really do look forward to doing season 14 with you as well. And I'll say goodnight to everybody. So thanks for watching, thanks for driving, thanks for commentating, and I'll see you all next season, season 14. Thank you and good night.
Yes, same from me, really. It's a pleasure to be here with Pete on Wednesday evenings. I do look forward to it. And yeah, great drivers, great racing, and a fantastic community in this league. And it's a pleasure to be a part of it. And I'll see you next season, my dears.